In this video, I'm going to attempt to survive over 100 days in hardcore create mod while completely transforming my world. My goal is to terraform this ugly river, add in a gigantic train line, as well as an entire civilization to give my factory workers a place to live. Let's go.
This river flowing around my industrial island is by far the worst terrain generation I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, before I start tackling the terrain, I need to gather some items to upgrade my current storage setup. To start with, I needed to grab some gold, so I went underground and began the search for some gold ore. I made sure to grab any zinc I found because you can never have enough. I managed to find 2 large veins of gold, and thankfully with Fortune 3, I was able to get myself 41 pieces, which was more than enough, so I decided to head back up and start smelting it down. Next, I needed to get the most expensive ingot in the game, netherite. So I made sure to fill up my filling tanks with water and then made my way into the nether. Now in the nether, I made sure to head right down to the spot where I fill up my fueling tanks so I could top them off and then begin mining for ancient debris right next to it, since it was really the only spot I knew I could get deep enough to increase my chances. After mining for a very long time and burning through almost all of my fuel, I found 2 ancient debris. Fortunately, I only required 4 to make the upgrade, so I decided to lock in and get back on the hunt for another 2. Unfortunately though, the fuel for my drill ran out before I found more, so I had to make my way back to the overworld to grab some water. But thankfully for lava, I was pretty much surrounded by it. In fact, I could not get away from it. I continued mining away, feeling extremely unlucky until at the very last moment before my drill was once again completely dry on fuel, I found 3 more ancient debris. So I went back home to smelt the ancient debris and create my very first netherite ingot. And now I have everything that I require to make the upgrade. First of all, making an iron to gold tier upgrade, then using that to create an iron to diamond tier upgrade, and then using a redstone torch and a netherite ingot to create a diamond to nether tier upgrade. So I could go ahead and turn this very basic barrel into a diamond and then a netherite, which gave us a ton more space. I mean, this thing was almost completely full and now we have pretty much doubled the entire space, which is going to be a massive help. However, this is not all. As you can see, currently the maximum stack is 2048, which is definitely not enough. Now, unfortunately, to take this out, I need to remove a bunch of these stacks or at least cut them down. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I changed my strategy. I was trying to manually transfer all these items like this, but it turns out if I just hold Q with control, I can drop them all out of the barrel, which is definitely a whole lot faster than the method I was trying to do, which allows me to take that out, then I can pick it all back up and just hold shift to drop it right back in. That is a whole lot easier. Oh my goodness. But now I can take this stack upgrade and using this recipe right here, I can turn it into a gold tier 3 upgrade. Now we're not done there because I can go ahead and craft up a couple more diamond blocks and turn this one right here into a diamond tier upgrade, which is a brand new level which multiplies it by 16. And fortunately, I have just enough diamonds so that I can drop this in there, take out the tier 3 and do it once again to also upgrade this one to a diamond. And now this is going to take the maximum items we can have in a single stack from 2,000 to 16,384. Now if we go ahead and click sort inventory, have a look at that. This is going to make storage thousands of times easier. Now I really don't have to worry too much about getting a bunch of a single block because we can store 16,000 in a single slot, which means I can really focus on just trying to gather more and more resources, allowing me to open my building opportunities. Anyway, now that we have the storage finished, I can move on to the next task, which is going to involve reshaping this entire river here. The river is going to be the first part of this project because the shape of it right now is absolutely cooked. But there is a slight problem. Due to the water, reshaping this entire river here with the changes that we're going to make is going to be impossible with the water. So I need to somehow get rid of it. However, without having access to sponges right now, there's only really one way we can do this, which is by manually placing in blocks and then breaking them right after.
Fortunately, I do have 3,671 dirt, so really all I need to do is create a barrier, which I think right here is going to be perfect, where the river kind of splits off from this section and turns into whatever the heck this is. So I think something like this is going to be perfect. You can see where it goes from being a river to, I guess, a creek. Fortunately, because of how shallow this creek is, it shouldn't be too difficult to just fill it all in. And honestly, I think that this is going to be the best and most effective way of dealing with this river here. In this section here, it is a little bit deep, but over here you can see the max is 3 or 4 blocks. And then over here, the river just stops. So yeah, it shouldn't be super difficult to fill this entire thing in, but it is going to take a bunch of time. So kicking off this mega transformation, I began filling in all of the water using dirt as the new block. I needed to make sure I had the easiest time transforming this hilarious excuse of a river into something less funny and more aesthetic. I had to remove the sugarcane, although it was never meant to be a permanent farm. I also made sure to shave some of the land down up to where I had placed in dirt to make it a little bit cleaner. Moving over to the section closer to the village, I decided to fill in the lower layers until the remaining section was only 3 blocks deep. Once that was done, I moved above water and filled the remaining section in just like I did in the previous spot. I was getting close to reaching the other edge, but quickly found myself running out of dirt and grass to use, so I decided to move on to the next stage to get the ball rolling. So the very first thing I need to do is, of course, shape up the edge here. So this is going to be the edge of what the river is, but I don't really have any dirt, so instead of building, I'm going to have to dig it out. I don't really have any other options. But generally, these sides of rivers when you zoom out are pretty smooth, so I want to make sure that I keep that the same for the edges of my river. Rivers don't generally have very quick and sharp turns and jagged edges. As you can see over here, that is definitely not normal. Over time, as the water flows down the river, it gently carves a nice smooth shape into the land, forming what you see as the river. A fantastic example of a terrain generation mod that does this well in Minecraft is Lithosphere, and as you can see, the Lithosphere mod, in my opinion, creates the best possible rivers you can get in Minecraft. And I actually used this on a 100-day video where I spent 100 days building on a river, and that video was a lot of fun. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of inspiration from how those rivers form and using that as a guide to help me figure out exactly where this river should go. And for me, this seems pretty nice. Not entirely sure how I'm going to do this side just yet. This is pretty cooked, I won't lie. But I think the best way to do this is to just be as smooth and free as possible. I don't want to try and force myself to make it perfect. I want to just kind of let everything fall into place and really let the river do its thing. On this side, I do want to somewhat keep to the shape of the river, or at least the direction that it's going. But as you can see, I am trying to make the curve a whole lot better, much more smooth. And if we look at the map, you can very clearly see exactly where I'm planning for this to go. You can see the very gentle curves, and this should curve right down through here, heading right back out into this monstrosity of whatever the heck that is. But zooming out a little bit further on the map, you can see that our river does a little loop and heads back. But I don't want that to be the case. In fact, I want to make this river extremely advanced. And what I mean by that is we have another river over to this side here, which would give us access to an entire area, which we really can't get to via water. And we also have this massive, I guess, river lake, because it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just this massive body of water. I think it would be very nice if we connected this together, which obviously would give us many options to potentially even connect this river to this river over here to give us a little bit of a shortcut, which would unlock pretty much the north end side of the map. But looking at the area from above, you can very clearly see there is a ton of work that needs to be done for that to happen. But we're pretty much at the end of where I was able to build up to, so let's head all the way back. Actually, let's get rid of this tree. I just found out the drill can also break stuff really quick, like the leaves. That was such an awesome thing to find out. But I can pretty much just dig this down now because I know where the river's going to go. I just need to figure out the other side. Now, how wide should this river be? That is a bloody good question. Let's go with that. Completely random. I have no idea how wide that's going to be.
It's pretty wide. I think that would be roughly the same size as over there. I think that would be good. But of course, the trouble is going to be trying to match the river on this side to the river on that side. I don't want it to be perfect. I don't want it to be identical to the other side, but I do want it to be very close. And to me, something like that looks pretty decent. Actually, I might actually change this a little bit. Let's bring this back ever so slightly because it didn't really match that side very well now, did it? Okay, that is a whole lot better right there. Goodness me. Then I can pretty much do the exact same thing, just trying to replicate on this side what I've done on the other side to make sure the river is nice and smooth. And already I can very clearly see that this river is going to look a whole lot better when we're done. Now, if you look at my portable drill, you can see the fuel is basically completely gone, and I should be out of fuel in a second here. There we go, completely out of fuel. So I need to get more, but it's a good time because it's nighttime anyway. So let me very quickly grab some water and let's head back into the nether with our very easy access, following our man-made path down to the lava lake. Oh no, we have a ghast. That is not the best. I'm just going to try and steal all the lava while trying to dodge the shots from that ghast. Oh my days. Come on, man. This feels personal, I won't lie. It must be because I'm draining the lava. I don't think he likes that. It is getting pretty difficult to steal all this lava. It's very hard to reach it, and if I get too close, I start burning. So it's becoming a little bit of a problem. I don't know how I'm going to continue to do this. I've just got to keep trying to get as close as I possibly can without burning to death. But there we go. I think we're completely full. Let's head all the way back. And we've had a piglin come all the way to the overworld. You're not supposed to be here, buddy. Okay, he turned into a pigman. That's better. Alrighty, so we have full fuel and water. So let me just grab my chisel because I saw something previously which I thought looked really cool. If we open the chisel with dirt in there, you can see there's a bunch of different types of dirt blocks which are quite a bit darker. And the dirt grooves, what else is there? Tilled dirt, dirt soil, muddy dirt. I'm thinking some of these is going to work really well as a base for the river because they just look wet, which I think would work perfectly. Now we also have these different types of dirt, but they're not really very wet looking. They're very bright, which you can see this is kind of the tone of all of them. However, thankfully using the chisel, we do have access to a little bit more. So what I think I'm going to do, let me pretty much just dig out this entire length of river here. We'll go a little bit wide so we have a decent kind of area to experiment with, and we'll just get an idea for the depth and the design of the riverbed. Now, of course, this top block here is going to be the height of the water, so I need to go down one more before I start placing it all in, which brings us to here. And I think going maybe 1 or 2 blocks close to the edge is going to be good for the first level. So we'll dig everything else out in between, and we will pretty much match what we've done on the other side over on this side too. Then we can move down another block and do the same thing, except a little bit more, maybe 2 or 3 blocks for this one. Something like that. And we'll just keep getting deeper and deeper until we get to the very middle where it both kind of meets up. And now we're at the point where these sections are close enough that I think we can just join them up. Now this is definitely a whole lot deeper than the river was previously before we did anything, but it isn't super crazy. The water level will be here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks deep. Now, I think it might actually not be deep enough, so I'm thinking of changing this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and just shave off a little bit of this dirt, just so we can make more space for the middle bit. There you go, you can roughly see how much extra I shaved off, so I can pretty much fill in the edges again, and add in a very final drop right in the middle. And of course, fill it in with the muddy dirt. And there we go, that is the brand new shape of the river. A whole lot of work for something that we're just going to fill in with water. And of course, our bed is being guarded by a thing of pillagers. I guess I have to quickly deal with these guys. Oh my goodness, this guy has speed. Oh, it's one of those super strong guys. Okay, I need to figure out a plan. He is way too quick for me. Relax, my friend, relax. Oh my days. He has speed 2, health boost 2, and fire resistance 2. So I've locked myself in this little hole, and I'm just going to critical hit him every time he gets close. Because I'm a little chicken.
Boom. Dead. Easy boozy, mate. And he dropped a copper backpack with a couple things in it. Okay, I guess I gotta deal with all these guys. Oh, why have we got another one? Oh, this dude is even more jacked. Get out of here, brother. Easy peasy, mate. Unbreaking 3 on the helmet. Alright, don't worry, I've got some for you too, mate. Easy. Oh, why are there creepers everywhere? Man, free real estate considering I filled it all in. These guys would not be able to be here if I didn't fill in this entire river. Oh man, I just filled that in. Alright, I pretty much have to do what I've done here for the entire section. And yes, that is going to be a ton of work. So let's stop wasting our precious time and let's go ahead and get this done across the entire thing. And now this river is looking a whole lot better, at least compared to what it looked like before. However, we are still very far from being done. Right now, there's pretty much nothing underneath the water, so I need to fix that. The edges of the river also look strange, especially because it just randomly goes to dirt, and then on the other side you have that random just grass block 1 block above. Both those things do need to be fixed, so let's get that done right now. The first thing I did was expand the walls which I created in front of the main house and log factory, using polished cut stone for the main face with pillars of windmill weaved deep slate. Next, I tackled the bridge, expanding it to meet the other side of the river. I copied the same design, except I decided to add in a modern light bar using copycat slices with smooth glowstone. It was very tedious work, but thankfully 20 minutes later I was completely done. Now the easy parts were done, I decided to add some details to the water, so I went through and added some rock patches and then filled in a bunch of seagrass. I used bone meal which made way too much, so I had to go through and cut it back a little using some shears and then use the extra seagrass to sprinkle some closer to the edges. I checked out my iron farm and of course it was completely full, so I emptied it and turned it all into iron blocks. Next up, I decided to add in a little boat dock to the straight side right outside of the iron factory so that people could come and go easily via boat. After all, what's the point of making a nice river if we don't use it? Now that I had the industrial side complete, I turned my focus to the opposite side. I began by removing the extra block above the water level and attempted to make a nice gradual rocky slope, only 1 block high with a nice path behind it. My vision was to have this side offer a nice walking path so people could easily visit the river. After all, this is where families would live, so it needs to be beautiful. Now, I can pretty confidently say that I'm very happy with this so far. I think this looks fantastic and kind of realistic. This slope is very gradual and nice and gives a very nice comparison to what is on the other side, which is a industrial behemoth. Now, obviously this river is going to be the separation or dividing part between 2 distinct parts of this world. Looking at the map, you can very clearly see this side is definitely industrial. This side of the river over here has agriculture, and this side has a village. Which reminds me, this village is not supposed to be here anymore, so let's just quickly delete it. We got a waystone. I completely had no idea that we had that mod in this pack, so that's nice. Although I don't quite know how useful that's going to be, considering I want trains to be the main and most effective mode of transport. But I must admit this village is literally in my way. So just like in real life, we got to get rid of this village and build a bigger, better and nicer village. Fortunately, because I have realized that this drill actually is very effective on pretty much everything you can break. It's a combination of multiple tools. So I'm just using this and that's it. It is very effectively taking apart this little house here. Now, usually I would feel bad, but I do believe the entire population has been eliminated by zombies. I didn't actually protect them when I started this world, so over the last 200 days, they've just been, silently taken out, which is very sad, I must admit. But I do believe the best thing for me to do is rebuild a even bigger and more protected civilization in their name. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Just take a second to observe my horrible situation with my storage. That's definitely completely normal for me. If you've ever watched any of my videos or any of my hardcore worlds, that's a very consistent problem I seem to have. Hopefully I can store everything easily in this barrel here. I guess the first thing I need to do is get rid of all the random bits and bobs. Right now I think the best thing I can do is go and remove all the dirt because I have so much, and in my backpack I can only store 512 per slot, which is definitely nowhere near what I can do inside of this barrel. Now we have 7,456 dirt. That is insane. Oh my days. Let's do the same with the cobblestone that we seem to have collected a bunch of, and once again just dump it all in here. I'll take out all the ores, and already this is looking a whole lot better. Now I know it's still definitely far from perfect, but there's a lot of things in here which I'm actually probably going to be using. So I'm going to leave that for now. Because obviously this river doesn't go very far, and you can see that the details stop just before it reaches the bridge, so that needs to be expanded. I really like how this bridge looks now that it goes right across the river. I mean, now I guess that there is a river for it to go across. But I'm really happy with it. I think it looks fantastic. I really like these little light bars that I've added in. They just seem so modern. I love it. Oh my days. But okay, we have this whole section here to deal with. Looking at the map, you can see a very clear line. My goal is to get this entire section at least down to about here, so it's kind of in line with this building here. But I also want to put in a smaller river, definitely not this wide, but decent enough to connect up to this river here, or this oddly shaped lake. Now there is an absolute metric ton of work to do, especially when you look at this side. This is definitely not the best, but fortunately we do have a ton of dirt now, so I can just go through and remove this river and create a much better one. Now the first thing that I needed to do was delete the rest of this village because it was in the way of my industrial expansion. I began by simply destroying them with my drill, but this was taking way too long, so I did what any normal person would do and resorted to fire. Yes, I burned the entire village to the ground. Fortunately, the village was already vacant, so it was totally legal, I think. Anyway, once the houses had burnt, I was left with a much easier task, simply clearing the remainder of each building, but since all of the roofs were gone and it was mostly stones, this took basically no time at all. With the village gone and the space cleared, I could begin planning the shape of the river. I tried to create a nicely curved river leading on from the main one into the large lake whatchamacallit. Before I could shape the riverbed though, I needed to clear all of the water and prepare the main river first. Since the smaller river connects into the side of the main river, it was important that I shape the main one. So I started by planning out the curve, which was much more difficult than I was expecting until I downed a little too much caffeine and remembered how to play the game. I dug out the shape of the river, trying to keep the previous dimensions, though apparently caffeine wasn't enough and this turned out to not be the best, but let's just pretend it did. Now that the main river was planned and set, I could work on the offshoot river, so I wasted no time and absolutely pounded it until we had something looking decent. Next, it was time to fill it in with water so we could see if we created magic or if I just spent the last 3 hours accomplishing nothing. Thankfully, this part was pretty satisfying and to be honest, probably helped cover up my pretty shocking riverbed. Now with this done, it is looking a whole lot better, although the river does still feel a little bit out of place, especially over here, but don't worry, we're going to fix that. However, so far we are about 30 days into this project, which puts us firmly onto day 230. With these extensions and seeing just how much better this area looks with the river, I have an unbelievable amount of ideas absolutely going mental in my brain right now, and I want to complete them all at once, but obviously I'm not Superman. But that doesn't mean that I won't do all those projects. I just gotta make sure I cut it up into bite-sized pieces, which makes it possible for me to do. Now, in order for me to say that this river project at least is complete, I need to make sure that these sides of the river all match up and kind of morph into the terrain. Right now you can see this is just extremely ugly. We can't leave it like that. I want to make sure I at least have the areas which I want to look like this done, and I'm considering building the mountains up on the side of this section here, because I want to
which will allow us to build a nice pedestrian bridge over the top once we decide to expand over to this area. Not quite sure what I'm going to be doing over here, so if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear it. Please let me know down in the comments below. But once I've done these sides and gotten that all good, I need to figure out exactly where this train line is going to go, which has been something I've really been struggling. I've been trying to figure it out while I was doing the river, and I think I've figured it out. It's going to involve having it curve around this way and creating some kind of track here. No idea how I'm going to do that just yet, but we definitely will, and hopefully it's not going to look horrible. However, I do think the best thing to do is to start over here. Now this entire section here is absolutely cooked. I really need to just go crazy on it and try and create something. What I'm thinking, let's see, do I have stone? I do not. What's in these chests here? Okay, I got some stone. Beautiful. Might as well take some mossy stone bricks as well. Now with this section, I want to create some kind of little garden on this spot and have it come out a little bit. Maybe like this, then we can go, you know, we'll go 3 and we'll bring it in a little bit. And I just wanted to kind of encase this outside section here. Bring it in, and you know what? That should be pretty good. Now, of course, I don't have dirt on me either. I've emptied my entire inventory because it was full. My backpack was completely full. But I do need to get rid of this, so I'm going to chop that down. And we'll just fill in the bottom of this nice and easily. Now, I am going to be building my very special mountains here. If you guys have seen the real hardcore world, then you know exactly what kind of mountains I'm talking about, but we can do that nice and easily. And this path over here, I want it to lead up, oh my goodness, I want this path here to lead up the side bit and basically just build up this entire area here. Now, do I have more stone ready? Let's find out. I do not, but I do have a ton of cobblestone. Look at this, I now have 11,000 dirt and 7,000 cobblestone. That is wild. So I'm going to grab pretty much a full inventory of the cobblestone, dump it in my smelter, and that's going to rip right through and smelt up in less than a minute. Okay, that literally took like 5 seconds maybe. Look at that, it's already all coming through. It is insane how good this thing is. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, that should be enough. We'll leave some in there just so next time I come looking for stone, I get a little bit of a surprise. Now over here, I do need to quickly figure out how this is going to go. It goes something like that, nice and simple, and nothing too crazy at all. That should be pretty good, and we'll have it decently wide. We'll go about here. That will be the path up the side, maybe a little bit wider actually. We'll go maybe here. And then this can come out like this and meet up right against the edge here. Now I really hope this does look good. I have no idea if this is going to look good. It could ruin it. It definitely could do that. So I am a little bit worried, but I mean, we can easily get rid of it if we need to. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with this section here. This is going to be a like weird spot where there's a bit of space, but not quite sure what to fill in. So I guess if you guys have any ideas for what I can put in here, please let me know. Can I remove this? Add the stone in. Oh no, it's because of the copycat. Okay, my bad. Go like that and get that bad boy back in here. But now I'm literally just going to throw down dirt so I can get an idea for the elevation of this little path here. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Obviously, I need to build up the mountain all the way around the edge here, and I need to fix up this side too. So there's a ton of work here. Then for any section like this, I do need to add in what I've done over here, which once again is an absolute metric ton of work. And I don't have a ton of zinc ingots. I've got 54 here and then 56. So I've got pretty much 110. That's not going to do much. Well, I've got 19 extra. Okay. Still, it's really not a crazy amount. I need to try and get more for sure, but hopefully I can at least get most of it done. So let's go ahead and get that done, and I'll see you guys when it's finished. Alright, and that is all done. You can see over here we have a very nice little pathway heading up to a brand new section that I have completely filled out. So it's ready to kind of go, and just I guess I gotta figure out exactly what I'm going to be putting up here. I have no idea what right now, but
but I'm sure we can figure that out. As you can see, the mountains are built up. I do need to texture it, and I do need to add more details into the sides. However, that's going to happen once I start working on this area, just in case I change it up a little bit. This is kind of like a blank canvas right now, so there's a lot of stuff I can change. It just depends on how the area develops, but it definitely makes this whole thing seem so much nicer. I definitely like this little increase or mountainside thing. Then you can see I have done the little terrain thing around the edge of the river up to that point over there, and I've also fixed it up along here, going underneath the bridge and wrapping around. So I think the river definitely fits into the area now. There's only one thing remaining to do, which is this. The bridge just ends, and if a train tried to go over there, it's not going to end up too well. So I need to figure out what to do over there. I've also decided that I'm going to start building some custom trees, and you can see the natural tree is a spruce tree, so I'm going to be building some custom ones of those. I'd love to build some kind of in front of this bridge, maybe one in this little garden here, and I guess just wherever I can fit them in where it makes sense. Now because of that, I have gone ahead and changed these to spruce from the oak because we have 4,500 oak logs. I don't think I'm ever going to even need that much, but I mean, it's happening slowly. We've got 2 stacks now. I guess the same thing as the oak, over time we'll just get more and more. Fingers crossed we'll have enough to get started, but worst comes to worst, we do have those double tall spruce trees over there. But moving on to the other side where the bridge just ends and turns into nothing, I do think I have an idea for what I want to do. So this path here is going to head upways and increase in height probably to about here roughly, or maybe this one, because this seems to be the average height up here, so it's probably going to expand up to here. So that railway needs to expand around the outside of wherever I put this dirt path. So it's probably going to curve kind of around here and head off in this direction. Considering how many cliff faces we built over here along the river, this should really be a piece of cake. And honestly, once we finish that, this whole area is going to have a massive facelift. I think this section here is the only thing really left, which is making this thing look strange. But once that's done, dude, look at the area. It's definitely coming together. I feel like the industrial area no longer just feels like it's plopped in the middle of a weird terrain generation river kind of thing. It actually fits into the world. Kind of like this fits into the world. This definitely feels like it fits in. I mean, unless you look over here, but don't worry, we're going to be fixing that. And then when we have a look at the map, oh my goodness. The difference between this and what it was before is monumental. Don't worry, at the end, we're going to do a before and after to see just how much things have changed. I think that's going to be really cool, but let's get to work on getting this side fully complete so that we can finally wrap up this river project and move on to the next one. So I decided to tackle the road first, trying to figure out the best direction. I settled on this gentle curve with a slight increase in height. I fixed up the area between the 2 roads by creating a natural hillside and sectioned off the main road using some stone walls. Next, I worked on the shape of the cliff face which the train bridge would connect to, and after a bit of adjusting, I found a shape which I liked. I then figured out exactly where the main line would travel, making sure to leave enough space for me to add some buildings in the future when I decided to develop the area. I want this main train line to run through a large part of the world, allowing for easy access to pretty much wherever I want. So I looked at the map and decided on a secret path, which meant I needed to curve the rail. Once I had the main line in, I connected the rails up, making sure trains could go in all directions and access the industrial area from all sections. Now that the rails were in, I could fix up the final side of the cliff next to the offshoot river, which I quickly built up. Now, even though the area was looking so much better than before, actually pretty much unrecognizable, it was very flat. So I grabbed some spruce logs and built up some tree trunks in spaces where I thought trees would fit in well and enhance the aesthetic. Then finally, to finish off the rest of the terraforming, I fixed up the remaining section against the relaxing pathway following the river. And this area is looking fantastic, but as you can see, the trees are missing their leaves. I also made sure to add 1 over this main train section and 2 in this little section here, which I thought just felt a little bit empty and could do with them. Now, there's no way I'm going to be able to build those without the thing that we're about to make, which I only just found out about. as you can see, this is the recipe for a brass jetpack, which is not actually too hard to create. In fact, I should be able to get it started right here. It's very simple to craft. We just need to put it into this little mechanical crafting thing. And I did make sure to grab most of the stuff before. As you can see, this is kind of what it starts with. I need to make the steam engine and 2 encased fans, and then that's everything we need. Fortunately, the encased fans are pretty easy to make. This stuff is very early game, which was very surprising to me. I certainly was not expecting it to be this easy to make a jetpack. When I found out about them, I thought I was going to have to do a whole lot more. But I only need to craft up the steam engine, which only requires this stuff here. Now I did use both of my deployers here. I wonder if I can make up another one. I just need a rose quartz, then using sandpaper to turn it into polished rose quartz, then an electron tube, then a brass hand, and there we go. So I can smack this right here. Hold on a second. There we go. Put the brass sheet right in the middle. And then in this order, I put in, oh my days, hold on. Oh, I need a hand crank as well. Oh my goodness. So I put that in, then the large cogwheel, then the propeller, then the andesite alloy. Then I just got to do this 2 more times. And there we go. We have the steam engine. So I just smacked this bad boy there. And okay, do I have to get rid of these top ones? I think I do. Oh no. Okay, does the drill work better? Oh my days. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Alright, this should be the crafting recipe, and that's going to go through slowly. I accidentally deleted my floor there, or wall there. But fingers crossed this works. I have no idea if it will. It is very slow because it is literally just a single large water wheel. I should probably try and get this fixed up. But I do believe that looks just like a jetpack. What's it doing? Okay, beautiful. Brass jetpack. And it's filling up with our fuel that we use for the portable drill. So that's kind of helpful, I guess. Can I just put it on and it'll fill up in there? Yes. Holy camoli. So I just kind of hold spacebar. Oh, that is so sick. I wonder how much fuel it uses. So let me dump that in there. If I just go up like this. Dude, that is so sick. Oh, you can take damage though. Okay, I gotta be careful with this. No way, brother. I can do anything now. Okay, I gotta be really careful. Oh, you can go like super fast with this thing, man. Oh my days. I gotta get used to that. Every time I go and jump, I just start flying. Dude, that is so sick. Okay, that should hopefully make working on these trees so much easier. It does mean we're gonna be using a ton of fuel though. So I gotta probably try and get myself some more of these fueling tanks. Oh man, this is so cool. How high can I go? Okay, not very high. Can I go higher if I go like above these blocks? Okay, so it's kind of like based on what it's above. That is so sick, man. Can I do it in water? No way. This is epic, man. Holy camoli. Why did I not make this sooner? Oh, this is going to make getting around this area just such a breeze. I've been struggling with this little river, getting across it because of how large it is. Like, especially getting up to like the bridge here. It's just been a nightmare. But now, dude, oh, that is so cool. I love it. And boom. Okay, enough messing around. I do need to quickly grab some spruce leaves. Now that we have a jetpack, that should be super easy to do. Craft up 2 pairs of shears, and we'll just quickly jetpack across this little river here. No problem. Dude, man, this is the best thing ever. Fly up to the tops of these trees, and boom. Man, that easy. It's so good for building, which in my opinion makes it better than an elytra because, I mean, most of what I do is building and an elytra doesn't really help with that. Plus it also has armor. It's only 6, so it's not quite what we have in this chest plate, which, okay, we got to be very careful now that we pretty much have no armor. I've been used to the protection 4. I mean, we are level 40, so maybe I should try and get on top of that. But it is definitely much more than an elytra. And boom. Oh, there's a zombie waiting for me down here. You just get my little axe. What is it like fighting with the jetpack? Oh, this is epic, brother. Like, if I ever get in a pickle, I just fly away like that. Okay, never mind. Skeletons can still get me. So maybe this is safer than having armor on because, like, if I ever have an issue, boom. Oh, okay, I do have an issue. I'm almost dead. Oh, my days. But no problem. I can just fly away. But why is there so many mobs there? What's going on with that? Look at that. What is this, man? Okay, let me try and get some of these leaves. Dude, that skeleton does crazy damage. Oh, I can eat while flying. That's cool. Man, this thing is awesome. I do need to watch my fuel though because it is burning through it quick. Alrighty, let me quickly grab some leaves, fill up these trees behind me, and we'll see what it looks like before compared to what it looks like after. And I think it looks okay. Now, I did start with a type of tree, which you can see over here. You've got the normal spruce logs and there's no branches, but I wasn't really liking it. I don't know if these turned out good. I want your opinion. Let me know what you guys think of these trees and if they look good. Also, I found out if I sneak, it like holds me where I am. So that was a very nice thing to find out. But yeah, please let me know if you prefer the tree with the normal spruce logs or the stripped ones. You can see these ones here have branches and they were a lot easier to make, and I think they required a bit less spruce leaves. As you can see, I tore down a bunch of those. Spruce leaves were very difficult. I had to make many trips over there because I thought I had enough, but I burnt through them very quickly. But I also added these flower pots on top, which I thought made it look a little less boring. Kind of like pine cones or something. I think it looks alright. You can see I built a tree over there as well, but I think it does make that area seem a little less boring. Now, of course, there isn't really anything over here just yet. Once I start building buildings and get some trains moving through and, more details in the area, it's going to look a whole lot better, especially once the rail continues all the way around to that little farm over there. And of course, in that direction too. So there's a lot of stuff to do. But I think we can confidently say that this river has been completely transformed, and if we look at the map, it just looks so much better. I also completely forgot that I have this clay farm, so I came and checked when I needed the pots, and yeah, you can see there's a ton of clay in here. I had to throw all the flint out because this entire thing was completely full. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I really need to take all of this clay and bring it over into this farm here and dump it in there. I won't lie, this jetpack is incredible. It is so much easier to get around. As you can see, I've used half of a tank of fuel, so it doesn't use anywhere near as much as the drill does, but it's still definitely very hungry. Let's just quickly grab all these bricks and turn it into actual bricks. Man, we're going to have thousands of bricks. Never going to have to worry about bricks again. Guess I'll just continue to save them up in here. Let me just quickly fill up all of my tanks. Does it work in here? Oh, it does. Beautiful. That is so nice. It's going to make it so much easier to get down here. I wonder if it's going to make it easier to collect lava. I just got to be careful because I really don't want to be dying. You can see I've started sectioning these bits off. It's definitely making it a lot easier to collect all the lava because now this whole level here is completely gone. I wonder if I try and hover. Oh, this is dangerous. This is super dangerous, bro. This could be the end of the world if I mess this up right now. Oh, wait, we've got a spot here where we can come into. Hey, let's go. All right. Let's get out of here safely. We're slowly draining the lava lake. Oh no, that's right. There's the max 28 blocks. So I gotta take the stairs to get back up. But I'm definitely happy with what we've been able to accomplish here. In fact, let's compare this to what the world looked like before we did anything. By the way, if you guys want the seed, this is the seed right here. Okay, it is insane how much of a difference we have made. This is what it looked like beforehand. And of course, the entire area. What a massive difference, considering we're only 246 days into this world. And I have skipped quite a few nights, so it's not even 246 full days. My factories need workers, and workers need houses. But I just burnt down everyone's house to build a rail line, so I need to build some new houses. Now this spot here is going to be absolutely perfect for houses, especially because it is right along the river that we just created. It's also going to be right in front of the rail, which is going to help make it fit into the area. Considering we have the industrial island, which is going to expand off in the horizon there, I feel like it only makes sense to turn this side over here into a residential behemoth. That will give the residents over there easy access to the industrial area, as well as the farming and rural area over to the side. But before we plan all the builds, I need to make sure I have a good style set up. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of stone and maybe some stone bricks and plan the very first shape using some sanded stone and maybe some weathered stone. How does this look? Okay, that looks very nice together, very similar. I want these builds to be very snug up against these roads, so we'll go something like this. And you know what, let's make it 3. Like that. Just make sure to add a little bit of texture in and we'll build it back kind of like that. And if we have to dig into the side here, that's perfectly fine. And we'll just shape it up just like this. Not a huge house, but a decent start, that is for sure. Now, of course, we can just build this up, making sure to add in the texture in between the two types of stone. And we'll go 4 high.
4 should be pretty good. There we go. So we have the very first section. I don't know why I've made this so perfect. There were 2 straight lines. Let's fix that up. That's a bit better. Now for the roof section, let's go with a lighter color. I wonder if I can grab some sand. Just grab our jetpack so we can go over the river. And I'm not making sand here. I'm making clay. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of clay. But I should be able to grab the sand just before it becomes clay. Right here. If this guy gets out of the way. Oops, I just grabbed all that gravel. Now I gotta chuck it all in there. Oh my days. Yeah, I definitely need to make myself a better machine. I think a machine dedicated to making just sand would be perfect too. Don't worry, we'll get onto it. We haven't got the workers right now to build more factories. I mean, after all, this was supposed to be temporary, but we can slowly grab the sand. In fact, I could probably set this up like this right now so that the sand will just automatically collect in here, just at least temporarily, so that I can collect it without having to stand here. Then I can turn this into sandstone, which, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever. I don't quite know how much I'm going to need. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of time, but I can take this sandstone and turn it into a bunch of different types of sandstone, which in my opinion is going to look a whole lot nicer. Because I mean, that doesn't look that good, does it? Sandstone just has a weird texture, which I'm sure we can definitely use, but I don't want to use it for this build here. Let's use some eroded sandstone. And is there another one? Sanded sandstone maybe? Do these two look good together? You know what? They look pretty fantastic. Kind of looks like just regular sand, which maybe we can even incorporate instead of the sanded sandstone. We'll go with regular sand and eroded sandstone. That'll make it a lot easier for me to get enough as well. So let's quickly jet all the way back so I can grab up some more sand, but not turn it to sandstone this time. 183 already. Okay, that's a lot faster than I was expecting. I am not complaining though. But let's do the exact same thing. Let's just build this up about 4 blocks. Let me take the jetpack off because it's annoying while building. Maybe something like this. This should be a good height. And you know what? It doesn't look perfect. It's actually quite a lot darker. So maybe we can't use the regular sand. Let's turn that to sandstone, and then we'll grab the sanded sandstone. Does this look better? Okay, it definitely does. That's the sanded sandstone, and that's the sand. Quite a big difference in the textures there. I think I can incorporate some sand towards the bottom. Maybe it's a little bit darker because it seems like it's compressed. In fact, let me just go through and just get some sand placed down. Can I equip this like that? Oh no, my diamond chestplate doesn't swap with it. Oh no, it does. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, that's going to make it a lot easier. I can just swap between them. Okay, we have sand on the bottom. Now, I don't have a bunch of sanded sandstone, so I'm going to need to head all the way back once again. Thankfully, with the jetpack, this is very easy to do. We don't have to stress at all. But look at that. Look how much sand we already have. Absolutely phenomenal. Then we can turn this into the sanded sandstone and add in our little bits of texture using both the eroded and the sanded sandstone. I'm trying to be as random as possible. It can be difficult. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter a huge amount because at the end of the day, we're going to be adding details to the outside, so you won't really see the crazy weird bits with the texture, so I don't have to be perfect. And these two textures are very similar. You can't really tell the difference unless you like really focus on it. So it's very subtle, which is exactly what I like to see. Now, not only are we going to be building the houses, we're also going to be bringing in some villagers and hopefully getting some trades that can help us get some better armor, because right now, not good. Not good at all. But you can see this is the start of a house, and I'm sure right now you're thinking it looks absolutely whack. However, if we go ahead and head back into our base, we can grab a block for the roof. I'm thinking a darker block because we have like a very light block for the top. So I think a dark block will contrast very nicely. Let's see what we have. We have black stone, potentially. We have some cobbled deep slate. I wonder if I can turn that into the cut deep slate. Then we have cobbled deep slate as well. We have regular deep slate and cobbled. I'll grab this just in case. Now I also have the rechiseled mod, so we should have a couple options that we can work with. I mean, just look at this, quite a few, but I'm not loving these. So let's turn it back into the regular deep slate. Okay, we can't even turn that in. We have to use the cutter. Okay, look at this. This is a bunch. We have a huge amount of stuff here to work with. Let's turn it back into deep slate. What can we do with these? What slabs have we got? We've got polished cut deep slate. We've got cut deep slate brick. And we have the crystal floor and flagstone. Oh, we've got quite a few actually. What about running board? Or running bond, sorry. I wonder how this would look. Now for this one, I'm thinking we just have a very basic like flat roof with the slabs. Oh, this is very dark. I kind of like that. I really hope it looks good. Otherwise, that's going to kind of suck. We'll do that. Then of course, we have to do the same thing on this side with a 1 block overhang. Make sure to do it on all sides, and we'll just build this up like this so that it should add up pretty nicely in the middle. Hopefully, as long as I made the middle block an odd number, and it looks like I did. Beautiful. I will also grab maybe some windmill weave slabs. I do also need more of the flagstone. Did I use flagstone? No, I used the running bond. My bad. Almost got the wrong slab. That would have been horrible. But if I add a little bit of the windmill weave in here as well, just for a bit of texture, I think that's going to look pretty nice. Rather than just the exact same block across the entire thing, just like we do with the walls, just adding a little bit of texture in can really bring it together a little bit nicer. And I mean, having a look at that from over here, it's looking a little bit strange, I won't lie. It definitely looks weird, but I'm sure we can fix it. Okay, that's the roof fully filled in. I should probably make like a chest for storage of all the stuff I'm using for this build in particular. So let's do that. Bang. Now I'm thinking we need like a point of interest at the middle of the roof here. So what if I go like this, remove these, and just build up like a little thingy-majiggy? Kind of like that, but that doesn't really look that good. Can I make it like a little bit taller maybe? Okay, I think that looks a bit better, but I don't 100% know. Let's grab some clay balls and we'll smelt them up over here just into some bricks. Then we can make some regular bricks and make ourselves a quick little fireplace. Making some, you know what, we'll do the running bond because they've got stairs and slabs as well. And we'll just grab a regular brick wall. Have I got spruce trapdoors? I do not. But I do have spruce logs. I can very easily craft them up. And right up here, you know, let's just delete some blocks. Add in some of these running bond ones. Add in the campfire, the brick wall, and some spruce trapdoors for a little fireplace. Now, that doesn't look too horrible, but let me also bring my shears over to this little oak forest and grab ourselves some oak leaves. I mean, that isn't looking too horrible at all. I don't mind it, considering we really haven't done anything just yet. I think a couple leaves in around here will help a little bit. And you know what? That's not a bad start for the building. Now, don't worry. There are going to be plenty more buildings along here. What I'm doing here is trying to show you my thought process on how I build these buildings and kind of how they come together, which I think is definitely important. Now, do we have some copycat slices? We don't have many. I don't think we have really any zinc remaining. I wonder if I can find some over here. There doesn't seem to be any zinc exposed anywhere unless I'm just blind. Okay, you know what? Let's go underground. Also, I'm using all of my levels to make a bunch of books to see if we can get some extra enchantments, something which might come in handy down the line, rather than just letting all of my XP build up and kind of becoming useless, because the higher the level, the more XP you actually require to get that level, so it's kind of just going to waste. I wanted to make sure I use it all, but I already found some zinc, super easy underground. This stuff is basically everywhere. I don't think I need that much. Let's just head back up with the 9 that we got. Oh, there's more here. Beautiful, I'll take that too. Alright, now we have 23. I probably should have used my pickaxe because I do have the Fortune 3 on it. But we can start smelting it up. I do have 6 in here actually. Let's throw that in there as well. While we're waiting, let's go and check on our spruce tree farm, which is also growing very well. Look at that, look how many spruce logs we already have. Beautiful, because I would like to use a bunch of spruce for the detailing blocks of this build. I think 9 zinc should be enough to get us started, so we'll take it all the way over here and turn a bunch of them into the copycat slices. And what I want to do is place them along the top here. Maybe 2 thick. 2 thick should be fine. No, we'll go 3. We'll go 3 thick. Make it a little bit juicier. Then I want to use the stripped spruce logs. So we'll place down the stripped logs. We'll quickly shear them. And then we'll just harvest them again. And we'll just place these in along here. Make it seem like a nice little dividing beam. Beautiful. That's looking good. Let's grab some sandstone stairs. And we'll just carve out a couple windows here. Just in the middle sections of these. I mean, already just having some windows in there makes a massive difference. Now, I don't want the door in the middle. I think I want it like at the front here. I did not mean to do that. Oh my days. Just destroyed the entire wall here. Oh my goodness. But something like that. Then I'll make a stone stair just for the door. And we'll go with the spruce door, of course, to keep the theme nice and consistent. Now I'm thinking we add in some more windows just like this. And we make some spruce parapets. And we'll just like throw it in on the
bottom block. Now I do need some glass, so let's head right back to our sand creator thingy-majiggy, which we should have a ton of right now. Oh my goodness. Now I gotta get rid of the sand. We got too much. I was not expecting it to pile up that quickly. Oh my days. That's fine though. We'll take this sand right into our smelter and we'll have a bunch of glass in literal seconds. Just as easy as that. Now the question is, do I even have the gray dye? I do have some ink sacs. Okay, beautiful. Just drop some stuff in here. I don't need all the glass, so I'll drop some of it in there. I only need really one stack, to be honest. We'll grab the ink sacs and some bones so that I can make some black dye, some white dye, and then gray dye, which I can then use to make a bunch of gray stained windows and gray stained glass pane. I already had 64. I didn't even realize. Oh my days. We just take a second to admire how awesome the world looks like. Now that I've added in the distant horizons, those mountains are absolutely monstrous. So beautiful. I can't wait to expand that train line all the way through it. I have some insane ideas for it. But in the stone cutter, we can chuck this in and we have a bunch of different like pipes. I reckon let's go with the diamond. Let's see how this looks. I mean, that's just beautiful, man. Just having those little design details in the glass is so nice. Beautiful. I mean, we've really just added in windows and doors and it already looks so much better. So maybe that's what was making it look strange. The fact that, you know, it didn't have any windows or doors, but now it does. And I mean, I think that looks good, but I'm sure you guys know we're still not even close to being done. There's so much we can still do to this. The first of which is, of course, going to be getting some signs. Just adding in some signs into little sections, maybe on corners like that. Okay, do not place signs when you're using the jetpack. You will fall and it will hurt. But there we go. We have a couple signs in there. What if we get some buttons? Potentially some stone buttons for the second floor. Add some of these in. Beautiful. I think another thing we can do, we can get the panels. I can't use the layers because when you use leaves in layers, they go gray for some reason. If someone knows how to fix that, please let me know. Wait, what is a flat pane? Can I use this instead? Okay, not really. I don't even know. Is that like a window? Like a glass pane kind of thing? I think that's what that is. That's what it seems like to me. Maybe we can use that somewhere. I don't know what I'd use that on right now. What about a board? Nope, see, they go gray. Not good, man. Get out of here. I know that panels work though. So these copycat panels, you only get 4 of them, unfortunately. So they are pretty expensive, but the leaves stay green, which is exactly what I want. So even though we don't have as much flexibility that we do with the layers, I guess it's kind of the best that we can do. We don't really have another option, but I guess that looks okay. Another thing we can do is get some composters, and I guess we'll remove this one. We'll just add the composter in, maybe remove that sign, and add some leaves in. Now we can also make some flower boxes. So I wonder if this would look good. I just don't know how it would look. Oh, hold on a minute. Like I could add this in here, right? Nope. Okay, it has to be on a flat block like that. Is it weird for me to just place them randomly? I know I should be placing them under the window. I mean, I guess I could change this to that and then place it in. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to do that for all of them. That's so nice, man. I mean, just look at that. That's beautiful. Then I've got, can I put lilacs in there? I know lilacs are big flowers. No, I can't. Okay. But I have got dandelions and white tulips. So I can place dandelion in there. Some tulips. Okay, only 2 flowers each. Can I get like a different color flower? Do I have them around? I do have these alliums over here, which could be very nice. My inventory situation is not good. But when is it? It's never good. Come on, get an allium in here and into this one too. And you know, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. There's definitely more I can still do, like quite a bit more. But for now, I think this is fine. What I need to do now is pretty much do the first step. I need to build all the walls and get the shapes and sizes of each of these houses done. Quite a bit to do, but once we get this step done, we're going to have a row of houses, at least the walls, which is going to look really cool. So let's get started. Now, all in all, I think this is looking absolutely fantastic, although we have really done nothing, just the walls and the roof. Before I do add in all the windows and the doors to the front, as well as a bunch of the details, I need to quickly do an upgrade to my jetpack. Obviously, I told you guys I've been checking the books and making sure to keep my level nice and low. If I go ahead and chuck this in, I get above the clouds, which after doing some research allows us to go with the jetpack as high as we want, which will definitely be a massive improvement on our jetpack and just make it so much easier and nice to use. So let's go ahead and smack that on there for one single level, and bang, there we go, above the clouds. So now I should be able to just keep going up infinitely, and the only way to test that is, okay, didn't work, allows jetpack to go to limitless height. So that should allow us to go as high as we want, right? For some reason we still get stuck. I don't know why that is. If someone could let me know, unless I'm supposed to put that on a different piece of armor or gear. I have no idea. Please let me know down below. Anyway, there is something I need to do before we start working on the details of those houses, and oh my goodness, that does look so different compared to what it was before. But if I do want to make it better, we've only got 20 zinc, which is not going to cut it. So I need to dump a bunch of my stuff in here, which I know I really need to get on top of because we're getting so many different blocks. I'm certainly going to need a better way to store all the smaller stuff and detailing stuff that I'm not really going to be having a bunch of, but I'm sure we'll figure out how to do that. For now, I pretty much just want to go down into the mines, roughly about the deep state level, because apparently zinc spawns at every level. Let me just grab my Fortune 3 pickaxe. Now, if it spawns at every level, why on earth would I come down here? Well, simply because I can also get some diamonds. So I'm literally just going to dig in a very straight line for as long as I can and find every little piece of zinc that I can, as well as hopefully some diamonds, maybe some gold, and I'm not going to worry about all these random ores. I don't think I need any of that. If I do, then I can always just come back down later and grab it. But fortunately, with a fortune pickaxe, just look how much we get from one drop. 4. So the fortune is definitely going to make a massive difference. Whoa. Okay, I've definitely seen this cave before. And I do see diamond, but not really much zinc. So I'm actually going to just go in a different direction. I want to kind of avoid that. We'll just go in a straight line like this. Oh, we got our first diamond. Unfortunately, though, it was only 2. But since we have fortune, we got 3. That was very unlucky. Oh, and water. Come on. Why are we getting so unlucky with this stuff, man? Goodness me. I'm just going to have to turn again. Oh, our second vein of zinc. This is taking a lot longer to find than I was thinking. Now we have 43. Brother, this water cave is becoming a massive problem. But, oh, we do go very fast with the jetpack. That's kind of nice. The only downside is I didn't bring a door. But can I make a door quickly? In our backpack? I mean, I guess I could. There we go. Now I have a way to breathe. So this might not be such a bad idea now. I mean, I don't have to deal with mobs now, which is amazing. And with the jetpack, we do move very fast through here, so it is actually kind of nice. Like, unbelievably quick. Even more diamond, look at that. Oh, and there's some air too. Ah, not too bad at all. So we got 16 diamonds. Hell yeah, man. We actually need diamonds, so it's kind of a good thing. Okay, so we're now in the mine or the cave. Do you see a bunch here? So let's just build here. This jetpack is actually kind of nice for caving, I won't lie. This is the first time I've had the jetpack while trying to do some mining, so it's very nice. All right, we almost have a full stack of zinc, which is definitely nowhere near enough, but it's a good start. Credit where credit is due. Although there are now mobs everywhere, which I was kind of trying to avoid. Oh, but I do see more diamond. I really need to get myself into a position where mobs are not so much of a problem, because right now they are serious trouble. Like, I gotta be really careful. I don't really want to have to be careful, you know what I mean? I want to take some risks. But right now with our current situation, I mean, what have we got? We got Unbreaking 1 iron leggings. That is no good. I don't think it could possibly be any worse, considering we are on day 250 or something. The only reason we can be down here is the jetpack. All right, you know what? Let's just once again dig in a water again. Come on, man. Okay, let me find a different spot. I'm just gonna dig in a straight line again. I feel like that's kind of the best method. And we tunneled right into a cave. I swear I didn't know this was here. But there's zinc right here, so I'm going to grab this. Beautiful. Okay, you know what? We have a stack and a half of zinc. I think that's definitely going to be enough to do what we need to today, at least with the project we're working on. So I think I'm pretty happy to move on. I just don't know where I am. And if we look at the map, you can't really tell either. Oh, zombie. Oh, we got a water cave. This will help us get up. Oh, diamond. I cannot go past diamond. Come on, man. Come on now, buddy boy. No way. Okay. Is there anything else? I feel like we've been here before, haven't we? This is the same one. Okay, let's just try and fly up, dig our way. Oh, another water cave. I swear I did not know that was there. That is crazy luck. Okay, we're at stone. Now we just got to keep digging up like this. Is this just the method? Oh my goodness. Low-key, not a bad method, to be honest. I wonder where we're going to tunnel out of the ground. I have no idea where I am or how close to the base I am. We do have plenty of fuel, so we don't have to worry about that. I know I need to fix up my backpack. Don't tell me. Oh, here we are. Oh, and we're literally right behind the base. How perfect. So we did get 25 diamonds. So I think once we get enough levels, we should slowly get back up to level 30 over time because we have been getting decent amount of XP. Once we get up to level 30 again, I'm going to be pretty happy to go ahead and start making some diamond armor. Now, of course, I am going to be smelting up this zinc. Let me just split it up between a couple furnaces. There we go. That should be fine. Drop everything in here. And you know what? Let me quickly manage my backpack a little bit. Okay, this is what we have now. A little bit better. I did find some more vertical slices in there and some panels there, but not a huge amount. In fact, let me actually check my other chest. Quickly grabbing the zinc before we leave. Let's just put that in there. And we have over a stack now, but I think we might have some in some other chest. That one's empty. Forget about that. What about these ones? Okay, we have some stuff in these, but not really what I'm looking for. I mean, there's a single slice. That's kind of it. Okay, whatever. Okay, but let's grab some spruce, let's grab some oak, and a couple other detailing blocks that I could potentially use. And I want to do a very similar thing to what I've done here. I do like how that looks. Kind of separating the top level from the bottom level. I think it does look pretty nice. But of course, using different materials. I don't want to use the exact same blocks for all the different houses. I think that'll just be weird. So we've got stripped logs there. Then we got the regular spruce logs there. So I think that works. Let's throw in a door right here so that I can also throw in a window here. Why is there a zombie? Oh, there's a zombie inside. I was hearing zombie noises. Just had no idea where it was coming from. Let me just turn that down a bit. That's a bit loud. Sorry, everybody. Throw some windows. Cut out some more spaces for windows. Just like that. Beautiful. Then I can get some more spruce parapets. I honestly think I'm saying that wrong. I definitely think I'm saying that wrong. But I like how that looks. We'll chuck those on there. We don't have to change that between every build. Now, what else can we do? We've got a bunch of spruce logs. So let's do something which I really think looks amazing. We grab some of these spruce fence gates, then some of these spruce trap doors, throw these on like this with a trapdoor right above. And honestly, this is my favorite kind of little awning for a window, which is completely doable in vanilla Minecraft. It's very nice. I like it. So that looks good. Let me place my backpack down because I'm sick of having it in my inventory. Let's place in a couple leaves. They don't need the little composters underneath every time, but perhaps I can just chuck a little sign on there just to make it look a little bit neater. I'm curious, can we put a pot on top of that? Do we have them? No, but I know I do have some inside of my base over here. So let's grab a couple. There we go, 54. Let's also grab some flowers while we're here. Cornflower. Oops. We'll grab some cornflowers, maybe some blue orchids, alliums, beautiful, and white tulips. That should be pretty fine. And I mean, look at the difference between these over here and then just what we've done here. We've done basically nothing, but it makes such a big difference. I'm probably going to make a tutorial on how to build houses like this because it's kind of a new thing that I've been trying. Well, I did create one quite a few months ago, a very, very long time on my real hardcore world, but I haven't been on there for such a long time. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Goodness me. But yeah, I haven't been on there for such a long time, and this is kind of a building style I didn't really get to try out that much over there, which I was planning on expanding the little market area I made in my real hardcore world, but I never really did. So I'm excited to practice here with that style and just expand upon it and try and get a bit better at it. I think it does look very nice. You're able to make some very unique style buildings because very often when you're building, at least in the style that I usually do, like I guess that would be very similar style to what I usually do, that building over there. It's kind of hard to make the buildings all look different, but with this, dude, you can do so many different styles just by changing the colors and the shapes slightly. It's so good, so very good. But I do want to see if I can make different color of the flower box. I really, really like that. I want to add them here as well. Now, I do believe it was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I do need to grab some dirt. Just going to come over here and steal some. Don't need to be fancy at all. Okay, I was wrong. Maybe it's like this. Okay, there we go. I was very close. So now we have the oak flower box. So I can chuck these right in front. Very similar to the spruce, but I guess slightly lighter. So same thing. It's using a very similar style. Obviously, I'm not going to do this for every single build because that would be weird. But I mean, just changing the colors makes it look completely different, which I like. Of course, getting some flowers in here just to add a little bit of that spice. delicious. You need a bit of spice in your life, all right? You can't be going around without that. I mean, just look at that dude. Oh my days, brother. I've never been such a happy chap. Now, what am I going to do with that section? That looks weird. Maybe some signs. I'll do some oak signs. Let's do that. Make a couple of them. Slap that in there. Once again, my inventory situation is no bueno, but that's fine. I guess I'm used to it by now. Let's just sit up here. And do I slap them here or here? I don't think I slapped them there. Let's do it here. Yeah, that looks okay-ish. Maybe not. No, that doesn't look good. That does not look good. Let's get rid of that. Let's try that here. It's a bit better, but I don't know. Okay, let's leave it for now. We're gonna have to be fine with it. Let's just slap these on here as well. Maybe when I get some awnings in there, it's gonna look a bit better. Let's have a look from this tree. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. Definitely need an awning there. I'm not going to have an awning on this building here, but I definitely think on the second level for this one we will. But what kind of awning? I did see something. Because of how many things there are in this mod pack, I have in fact got a creative world that I just looked through like different items that I might be able to use and add into my building. And there's a wool awning, which I don't have any sheep farm right now, so we kind of have to just go around and find some sheep, some unexpected victims around here somewhere. There's a bunch of pigs, but not many sheep. I mean, I've got 5. That should be a good start. Oh, there's our next victim. Come here, mate. We've got something for ya. Boom. I can't believe we don't have an animal farm yet. Why is that? That is not good. Should probably definitely get on top of that. Oh, I see a bunch of sheep. Hey, mate, you're mine. Some more. Bang. Sheep everywhere. This is what I like to see. Okay, 19. You know what? That's going to be enough. Let's get back. Look at that. We're already level 12. I don't even know how we got 2 levels. There must be something we're getting XP from, because I don't think I've killed anything. Oh, we did get the zombie, but that's it, right? So I don't know why we're getting levels so easily. I mean, we did get to level 40 by accident. That's why I started making all those books. I'm really liking how this industry looks. It looks beautiful, man. I'm so happy with it. I'm excited to get this expanded too. Anyway, enough yapping. Do I have red dye available? I don't think I do. Let's empty my inventory a bit because I need to find some red flowers, but I don't think there are any anywhere nearby. Like at all. There's nothing. So we might have to go on a little bit of an adventure. Okay, I've been going for a while. There's literally no red flowers anywhere. Maybe in the redwood forest? Oop, I found them. A bunch of rose bushes. I've had to come so far to get these. I mean, just look at this map. All the way across here. Brother, just for a little bit of red. That's crazy. But at least we could technically just bone meal these now. But oh my goodness, look how big these redwood trees are. They're absolutely enormous. Okay, we have a bunch of rose bushes. I don't need this much, but we got them now, so let's head all the way back. Flying through the trees with our little jetpack. Oh my days. I wonder if there's an enchantment that makes the jetpack faster. That would be cool. Oh, there's villagers here. I need to remember that because I need to steal them. You guys are going to be part of the village I'm building. There's a couple sheep on the way. I might as well take their fur or wool. Not fur. What am I talking about? That's the Australian in me. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'm pretty sure it is very simple to make these. So I need some red wool, not too much like that. That should be fine. Then we'll make some red carpet and we'll also make some white carpet. I'm pretty sure it's like this. Nope. Maybe like that. Okay, there we go. I knew I was onto something. All right. So we got 3. Let's see if I can just smack these bad boys up here. Okay, I need one more on my days. Okay, there we go. We got the last one and we'll chuck that right there. And I mean, it probably doesn't work because it's on like a brick, so it kind of matches it very well, which is probably not the best, but I don't mind it. I think it's okay. And we don't have to only use it on this house. We can use it here as well. I like it. And you can see there is a ton of different colors. We don't just have to use red. I just wanted to use red because, you know, it's the brightest one there is. But I guess I could have made purple ones. That probably would have made a bit more sense. Maybe I'll use purple on this one. It's got a purple roof. So maybe purple at the bottom to kind of match that in nicely. But let's get some buttons up there as well. No idea where I put my buttons. Are they in here? No idea where I've put my buttons, but I know I did make like a stack, I'm pretty sure. I really got to figure out my storage situation for these like decorative blocks. That's fine. I'll just make another stack of buttons. There we go. 64. Smack some of these just around. Now I know this doesn't look like there's 2 different types of blocks, but if you look at the top, you can see I've used tiny tough bricks and laid tough bricks. They look identical. I didn't mean for that to happen. That's just kind of I guess, unlucky. Can I change these to something different? Like maybe get something looking a little bit more stone bricky? Like, I guess regular tough bricks, right? And maybe just swap a few of these just to make it a little bit more interesting, because I think it's just very boring because it doesn't look different at all. But even just doing that, that's so much better. Man, look at our storage situation. It is no good, man. I'm so sorry that you guys have to witness this. This is bad even for me. All right. Grab copycat stairs like that for a door, and we'll use an oak door here just once again to be different, which I did not keep with me, of course. So I guess we'll just make some more. Why not? Smack that bad boy there. Beautiful. Now I don't love how boring that entrance is. I'm gonna get some of these. Do I have like fences somewhere? No, but we can make them. Smack in something like this. This is gonna connect there, which I don't love. I wonder, would iron bars connect to that? Or the other thing I can do is grab some trapdoors like this and have this like out an extra block. Yeah, that works. Still don't love that. Don't love how that's like connected, but I mean, I guess it's okay. Don't worry, I will be fixing up the little grass section too. That won't be staying like that, but for now, it's not really my concern. Let's throw a little rose bush in here. No, here. Yeah, beautiful. Maybe some signs like I did there. Maybe on this corner here. Definitely want to add some banners in. In fact, I can probably make them now. It's this design, right? Nope. I'm gonna get this. Yes. Okay. I was kind of close. Why is that so expensive? Dude, I forgot how expensive it is to make banners. Okay, I gotta use these sparingly. One there and one there. Sure. Okay, that works. Now, that house, for me, it's okay. I definitely think more can be done to make it look perfect. But I mean, if you were just walking past, you would think that's a nice house, right? I hope. If you disagree, please let me know down below. But this house, what am I going to do with that? I don't know how I messed this roof up so much, but at the same time, I don't really know how I could have done it any better. The purple is a bit much, I think, especially because it goes from like dark to gray to purple to orange. Look, I don't do any creative planning. This is all freehand, so I'm going to make little mistakes like that, but I guess we'll just try and get it to work together. We'll see what we can do to fix this horrific display of a house. But I'm pretty much going to do exactly what I did for these two houses to these two houses here, and we'll have a look at how it's looking when we're done with that. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that is a whole lot better. Though, we still have a massive issue. Have a look at the front. It looks horrible. There's just a strip of grass and that's it. To the right hand side, you can see the rails, but you can pretty much just walk onto there, which is extremely unsafe. And we have a massive grass field between the edge of the cliff and the rails, so we need to fix that. Now, I did check my iron farm very recently, and we already have a bunch of iron, which I've already got in my inventory. Now, I'm going to use this iron that we just got for doing literally nothing. I absolutely love the auto farms to make a huge amount of iron bars. Now, I'm going to be taking these iron bars over to my stone cutter, and oh my goodness, it is so weird seeing a bunch of cool buildings here. It's only going to get better. Trust me, this whole area is going to be absolutely bonkers. Let me quickly fix distant horizons. There we go. For some reason, I have to sometimes disable and then re-enable the rendering for it to actually work. I don't know why, but oh my goodness, that just looks so much better. Anyway, let's jump right into the stone cutter here, and I should be able to get some of these mesh metal things. So I believe it was this one, and then we'll also get some of the spiky one, the expanded, right? Now, I was looking on a creative world. These look insane. Have a look at this. Doesn't that just look like what would be right next to a train track? At least that is what it looks like in Australia. I'm pretty sure it looks like barbed wire fences, or the you know what I'm talking about. Oh my days. Am I using the right ones? Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Can I change these back? I cannot. Oh my days. Wait, is there even another one? I don't think there is. Okay, maybe I'm tripping. But these low-key kind of look good, eh? Maybe I should just be using the expanded. What does this look like with that? I think I'm supposed to just use the one type. I think. So it looks like this with the two different types. It kind of looks like there's like a little gap there, right? Or is that just me? Compared to what it would look like if I use the just single expanded. Like that's fully connected and that's not. Okay, just use the expanded then. Oh my days. Hold on, I wonder if there's like another one I can use, or is that a mistake? Okay, I have no idea. I'm just going to use the expanded. The expanded to me that makes the most amount of sense. So I kind of just wasted this whole thing here. Oh my days. All right, chop all this down. Thankfully with the drill, it makes it super easy, just like that. And let's just get the row of expanded mesh fence in here. I don't want to go all the way because I wanted like a building here. I think that would be really nice. You know, I mean, there's a pretty big junction here. So I'm sure a little building to kind of deal with that would make sense, I guess. I don't know. But something like that. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a mesh metal fence gate. There is, but how do I get that? I need to make the mesh metal fence and then I can turn it into a gate. Okay, hold on a minute. So this, nope, is in here, isn't it? Like that. There we go. See, not that dumb after all. Now I can chuck these in here and then, oh my days. Hold on a second. Did I mess this up? Oh, no, here we go. Okay, so bang. Hey, look at that. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Right, let's of course make this 2 blocks tall across the entire thing. Otherwise, you just be able to jump over. It doesn't really make much sense now, does it? Just like in the real world, we have to protect our citizens from making bad decisions. So we got to stop them being able to walk onto the train tracks. Let's get some more of these mesh metal fences. Dude, I actually really like how these look. They look really nice. You see those iron bar fences over here that are used on the iron farm? That's kind of what I was looking for. Like over here with these fences here. My idea was to have something looking more like this, but that's kind of all I could find. So I'm really curious about how many blocks and different items there are in this mod pack that I have no idea about that I would absolutely love to use. So if you guys know what mods I'm using and you can see that there's some blocks that I could potentially be missing or that I could use to my advantage, please let me know. But there we go. We have a nice little fence in here. Of course, this is going to expand a little bit further, but I don't entirely know what I'm going to be doing with the back of these buildings. Of course, I need to add in windows and details to make it look less like whatever this is, but I think I'm going to have like a path heading up here. Do I have my shovel on me? I do, but actually not the right shovel. I need to get my regular diamond shovel, which I'm pretty sure I dumped in here somewhere. That one's dead. I got half of a full shovel, I guess. Let's also grab some dirt. And do I have coarse dirt in here? I'd be surprised if I did. I do have a lot of gravel and a lot of dirt, so I'll just make some, I guess. Boom. That should be enough. 4 stacks is beautiful, mate. All right, so what I'm thinking, I'm going to have like a 3-block wide dirt path through here. So people have access to this little gate. Of course, using just a regular dirt path. But then this is going to turn right here and I'll have to dig some kind of path this way. So a little bit of landscaping here, but that should be pretty easy to do. Maybe I'll even build this out a little bit just like this. And I mean, I'm sure I can just fill this path in. This isn't going to be a like public road, I guess. More of just a way for people who work there to get in there. Let's make a couple special blocks as well. Let's get some eroded dirt. I think this will be nice. Kind of just in here between the dirt path a little bit. I definitely want to get another block in there. Let's see what we can do. What have we got? We can get dirt path block. How does this look? Okay, that one's all right. Just get a mixture of both of these in here. And then whatever is missing, like any of the remaining grass blocks, can just go straight to the coarse dirt. I think that'll be nice. Let's just go under here and make sure I fill in these little weird spots here, just like that. And honestly, that should be pretty good. Now, I do want to add some extra coarse dirt along the edge, just so it doesn't go straight to grass, like flat. That would be weird, I think. Little bits of coarse dirt is going to help a lot. And then we'll grab a bunch of these oak leaves and we'll just like make a wall of these leaves kind of thing. Like very, very bushy. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. Can I get my shears and just shape this up a little bit better? Kind of like that. And I mean, looking from up here, that looks decent. I'm just kind of trying to make this seem a little more like it fits in. I don't want this to be like a major focal point, like the rail itself. I want the whole thing to feel connected. So like if we look from over here, obviously you can still very clearly see the rail, but I mean, it seems like there's a whole lot more than just a rail there. It's like, oh my goodness, come here. No. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. It's like it's connected to the world. And these leaves just kind of help create a little facade between it, I guess. Make it look a little more natural or hide the, I guess, ugliness of what a rail would be in real life. In Australia, I think especially, there's a lot of trees and things between the rails, so you can't really see it very easily. It kind of digs in deep. It's very hidden. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Now I do need a line of a darker block. I'm thinking like a deep slate. What have we got? Okay, maybe not polished deep slate. Go regular deep slate maybe. And I'm thinking like maybe an eroded deep slate potentially. How does this look? This is going to be for underneath this little line of fences here. Okay, that's nice. I like that. So we'll just do this across the entire thing. I think that's nice. I like it. But I am out of deep slate. I need to get more. Another stack should be fine. Actually, while I'm here, I didn't need anywhere near as much of the stuff that I grabbed before with the dirt, but I do need some stone. So I'll grab some of those. I think this eroded deep slate does look pretty nice. I like the texturing of it. But there we go. That's that done. Next, I need to just shape this up wherever I can get rid of an extra stone, like on these corners here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that just so I can add in some grass and flowers into the area, make it seem a little bit more overgrown. So wherever I can do that, I am going to do that. And on the edges here, of course, I need to add in these sticky outy bits. Just going to make the rock face seem a little bit nicer. I like doing this little design thing. Kind of similar to what I've done here. Something kind of like that, you know, very basic, but it helps shape up that edge. And now that edge does still look a little bit weird because I need to add in all the texturing and extra details to it. So it will look better once I get to that. I do just need to go and get some bone meal, which I should have a bunch of over in my little farming town thingy-majiggy over here, which has been working very well this entire time. And it's completely full. Not a single surprise there at all. So as per usual, chuck in all of the wheat seeds and the straw right into my bone meal converter thingy-majiggy combobulator. And of course, turning all of the wheat into hay bales. I should probably come down here. Okay, I just accidentally did something. I didn't know I could pick that up like that. That is slightly annoying, but it's okay. I fixed it up. But yeah, this thing should be absolutely chock-a-block. So I need to make sure I come through and try and clear this up. Oh my days, look at this. Everything is absolutely maxed. I should probably get on top of fixing this up. I'm supposed to set up some kind of auto sorter to do this automatically. I should probably double this as well. I guess this definitely just highlights how much I need to get my train system set up so that I can collect things across all different machine things and, you know, move the items around correctly. Definitely need to try and figure out how to do that because right now it's not good. Especially the wheat farm. I was not expecting it to be this efficient. It is way too efficient, man. I did not need this much. I mean, this one's empty, which is good. What about this one? Okay, this one is not good. I mean, this is completely full anyway. I can't really do much there. All right, I'm probably going to just have to come back to this later on. Anyway, let's take the bone meal because that's what we came for. And I still can't believe how good those buildings look. I'm very proud of those. But anyway, let's go ahead and bone meal up all the grass here. Bone meal right up as much as I can get in there. Even the extra tall ones, which I don't usually like. But in this situation, I think we definitely just need to get it in here. I think that'll help especially. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. And I reckon that's looking bloody bang on. Absolutely bang on the money. So then looking at the area from over here, I mean, it's such a minor change, but it definitely helps. Having the little fences there to stop people just walking onto the rail line, definitely massive. And then having the path go up into there so you can walk along the edge there and then into what is going to be a building sitting right there. I think that's going to be pretty perfect. Maybe I might even add like a tree here and then maybe even a tree here as well. Like 2 trees in this section here. I think that'll be good. Not as big as the other trees, like a smaller kind of tree, but I think that'll be nice. All right, let's get a building in here. Let's fix up the edge of this cliff here so it actually looks nice by adding in some texture and details. And let's try and fix up the little grass strip in between the houses and the path. I ended up doing quite a bit more than I initially expected or planned to do, especially over in this part here. I'm unbelievably happy with how this turned out though. Obviously, I needed to figure out how I was going to get across this rail line, and originally I was going to have the rail line go down, but I guess to keep it as realistic as possible, the rail needs to try and be as much of the same level as possible. They don't really go up or down very often. So I'm trying to keep it very consistent with the height, and I had this amazing idea to keep this at the exact same height and create a little underpass so you can walk over to the other side. Obviously this side hasn't been done yet just because I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. There's a few ideas I have for how I can make this other entrance a little bit more exciting, but I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing over behind me first. Of course, I need to just figure out where this rail is going to go. That's the most important part. I still don't quite know know whether I'm going to have it like head off in that direction over there, or if I'm going to have it curve over to the left and then head up over that way. I'm definitely not going to have this main line go past here. I'm going to create another offshoot to go towards our little wheat farm over here. But taking a look at the map, I can't have it go completely straight because then it's going to go right through this river. So I either need to have it come up a little bit or go down a little bit. I know exactly where this one's going to be going. This one's going to come right across here, come over here, jump across to this little side here, and head around the edge of this thing all the way up to the very top of this mountain over here. To be honest, that's probably going to be the largest terraforming project I have ever done. This rail line is going to be extremely extensive, but I think this looks good. Of course, there's no interiors right now, but I do still need to bring some villagers over, even though there's no interiors, from the village way over down here. I believe this is the closest populated village, so that's where we have to get them from. As you can see, I cleared up my diamond backpack. It was absolutely fried at the end. I had a horrible situation with that, but I spent like an entire day just sorting everything. Anyway, we're moving over to the straw so we can go ahead and craft up some leads. I'm gonna grab 2. I don't think I really need that much. I probably only need 1, but just in case anything goes wrong, let's also go ahead and empty all the seed and straw into that spot just so we can continue to get bone meal and free this up a little bit because it is full, of course, once again. Actually, let's turn all of this into bread and get our stashes up a little bit more because we were running a bit low. But that should now continue to feed through, and fingers crossed, it'll just not have to back up again for a while. Let's check on our spruce logs quickly because it has been a while. We are on day 289 right now, so I mean, this project has taken a huge amount of time. Just for the river, and that alone, it's taken almost 100 days. So that is pretty cooked, but we didn't get a huge amount of spruce logs. I did check it very recently. Yeah, you can see my storage in here. No good. No good at all. But let's go ahead and craft ourselves a boat. And on our way to the village, let me just double check my iron farm. Oh my goodness, it is already getting pretty cooked again. So we'll just quickly condense this down, just like that. We have a tremendous amount of iron. I'm very happy. Let's also quickly check our clay because I think this should be full. Yes, it is. Oh my days. Okay, let's fill up the backpack. How full are we talking? Okay, not completely full, almost completely full though. But I will fill up my entire backpack with all of this clay so I can bring it all with me. I'm also going to drop the flint just because it's completely useless. And let's take all of this clay over to our thingamajiggy over here. And this is going to take a little bit of time. I just need to smelt it up. It's something I definitely need to get done, so I might as well try and do it now. Thankfully, it is pretty quick. I can probably drop this here, can't I? Is that going to be faster if I just do that? I guess we'll find out. Let me take these out of here. Oh no, I just collected a bunch of it. Okay, there we go. And to me, it looks like it's pretty much almost done. So let's go ahead and craft up a huge amount of bricks. Oh my goodness, we're never going to have to worry about bricks ever again. Okay, we already have like 800 bricks. It's going to take me a while to get all of this done, so hopefully I can just do this and just chuck them like this. Maybe this is going to be faster. Okay, I really hope that works. Okay, a lot of it fell down. Drop it in there, I guess. Fingers crossed that's quick. I have no idea if it's going to be. I don't know if there's like a max amount of stacks it can do at once. I might as well see if I can collect some of these. Oh my days. All right, let's see how many bricks we get. Okay, I am shocked. We have a crazy amount of bricks. Oh my days. Thankfully, we can store up to 16,000, so it's not going to be a single problem in here. Let me just drop them all on the floor. Okay, I just found out I can just hold down Q. That is so much faster. And let's just shift click it all in there. Boom. Bricks and sand are 5th and 6th of the block that I have the most of, so that's very telling. We also have 195 blocks of iron. That is wild. Well, that is fantastic. Oh my days. All right, let's go ahead and grab our villagers. I really hope I can bring them back with the boat in the lead while using the jetpack. That would be so good. Alrighty, we've got our first guy here. Jump in the boat, mate. Nope, never mind. He doesn't want to get in the boat. I'm actually going to steal this while I'm here. I need that lectern. Get in the boat, please. Thank you. All right, now I'll just use the lead. And I've got 2 villagers. Now, can I use the jetpack to fly? Oh, I can. It kind of works, I think. Hey, look at that. We're flying all the way back. That is amazing. This is literally the best thing ever. Just don't quite know how I'm going to get them inside of the building. Okay, I got to let them down slowly, otherwise they might take damage. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to have to just delete this temporarily. All right, come on, fellas. There we go. Thank you. Quickly fix up the building that I just destroyed. I also need to grab a spruce trapdoor because I need to make sure that they cannot escape. because they'll probably get eaten. So put that there and that should stop them getting out. Now let's break the boat. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, that sucked. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you guys. I hope you guys can forgive me. Take some bread as a way for me to say sorry. Are you going to take the bread? Excuse me, mate. Take the bread? Dude, I'm a friend. I promise. How did you become a farmer? What the heck? Oh, there must be a composter right outside the window somewhere. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I did hit him, so we're not getting the best deals, but you know what? It's fine for now. Excuse me, mate. Are you going to become a librarian? Yeah, look, you can't get out, mate. Sorry about that. No. Hey, close the door. No. Oh, what a cheeky fella. You know what? I'm sorry that I hit you. I didn't mean it. Hey, yes, let's go, librarian. Okay, whatever. You know what? We're going to be able to deal with those later, now that we've got him in there. I do plan to do full interiors for these builds, but we are now on day 284. I think I said 89 before. I must have got it wrong. I must have misread it. It must have been 283. But yeah, day 289, this is what we've gotten done so far. If you guys are watching since day 200, then obviously the river and this section over here is pretty much everything we've gotten done in the last 89 days. Looking at our progress from the start, this is pretty much everything we've done since all the way back in day 1, all the way up to day 289, I think we've done a pretty good job. I'm very, very happy with this underpass. I think it looks fantastic. And honestly, these buildings turned out a lot better than I expected. It has been a very long time since I've built in this style, but I am very happy with how it came together. I'm also extremely happy with these train tracks. I think they're looking very, very good. I'm definitely extremely excited to continue expanding this industrial section, which don't worry, it definitely will be expanded on. There's certainly a whole lot more builds in here and warehouses and factories to go in. I think one more project over on this side to get a decent setup going and have everything feel connected, especially because this farm over here doesn't really feel connected right now. But once we do make that connection and finish up this side here, at least of the river, we're going to be ready to go ahead and expand on our factories once again. Now it's time to connect everything together. I started by fixing up the river's edge to meet up to the hill that I created. Next, I fixed up the landscape and added a nice cliff face along the back. I then added in some roads throughout the bottom section and then made my way up the cliff face to fix the terrain on the next level. I made sure to add in a small wall to separate the train line level and then extended the main road through, which gives us a pretty nice canvas to work with. This section here, I plan to add in a bunch of trees and places to relax against the river. We have a tunnel which heads all the way over to the wheat section right here, and we have a much better look at how this top area is going to look once everything is done. Of course, this back section we still need to work on, and before anything else, we need to get this train line in. So that is the very next thing we are going to work on, the train line. Let me just drop everything into my main storage here, which I definitely need to figure out. I would love to start sorting everything into different sections. Obviously, this barrel here can hold a bunch of items, but finding items is becoming a little bit of a problem. But we'll be able to get that figured out. For now, let's just grab as much gravel as I can hold and dump that into my backpack. And I'll also grab a bunch of dirt too. Also, I'm excited to introduce a new segment into these videos. I need your help to make this world as good as possible. So any ideas, tips or tricks that I can use in this world to make it even better, feel free to go down in the comments and I'll pick out the best ones for each episode and add them into the video. And we're starting off with Ruha, who suggested that we needed to enable the above the clouds in the config to allow us to go even higher with the jetpack, which you can see right now. We can basically go as high as we want, which was supposed to happen when we added the above the clouds enchantment. But obviously that didn't work. So shout out to Ruha for giving me that tip. Throughout the rest of this video, I'm going to have a bunch more comments from you guys and we're going to act on them in this video. So if you want to be in the next one, make sure to leave a comment down below with something you think I should do or any tips or tricks that I should know about. But now it is time to finally work on this. Now, I don't really know what the best way to do this is because I'm still kind of new to using these train tracks, of course. But I think the best thing that I can do is probably just place in a bunch of dirt to start with to get it up to the right height level. Then I'm going to turn a bunch of this regular gravel into rough gravel, which has a slightly different texture. It is extremely slight, but I think it is definitely a nice little detail to add because the gravel looks a little more rocky, I guess. that makes any sense. I want this to come forward a little bit more before we start to turn it. We'll have it come up to about here. Also, my drill is basically dead, so we're gonna have to get some fuel very soon, and my fuel tanks are all completely empty, so that's gonna be fun. Let me also actually get some dirty gravel. I like to add a little bit of a sprinkle of this in here as well. While it might not make a massive difference, all these little details is what I love to add into a world to make it feel more complete. So looking at the map, we're about here. This needs to turn and slightly come down this way so that it doesn't run right through this river here. I would love it to kind of follow this river a little bit better until we get to here, then it can bridge right across. Or alternatively, I guess it can go down, but we're not going to be going that far today. I just want to get it to about here so we at least know this massive section here, which we're trying to fix. So let's just dig this a little bit more. As you can see, I've started using my shovel just to save the durability of the drill a little bit. But I reckon that gives us a substantial amount of space to work with. So we'll go up to there. Firstly, I'll just place in all the dirty gravel. Okay, so we'll end up at about here. Let's go ahead and get these tracks in just like that. I'm just going to do one for now because I can just follow the other one once we figure out exactly where it's going. Now, I've only got 29 left. So let's see if I can grab a couple more from in here. Did I make more? Oh, I did. Beautiful. Plenty of tracks to go around. In fact, probably more than we need, which is great. Right now, the Y level of this is 71. So we've got to keep that consistent. Let me go over to here and we'll figure out exactly where I want this to end up. I feel like that's the best way to do this. So right here gives us a decent space between the river. So let's just smack it in here. We'll make sure to make it the exact same Y level, which is 71, which is here. And we'll turn this one into rough gravel. So we somehow have to get this train line to meet up to this section where we are now. I have a feeling this is going to be a little trickier than I was expecting. For now, I'm not going to worry about the height variation in the land. So let me actually remove this. I just changed my mind because that's just going to make it a little bit more difficult. So we'll have it go here and then it can start to curve this way like that. Now, I don't know if I should make it go like a little more straight and then curve, or if I should just have it stay completely diagonal. I'm not 100% sure just yet. Let's come over here instead. And if I connect this and try and get it like perfectly in line with this here, where would this end up? So it would be about here, I think. Does that line up? I think it does. Does that look okay? I think that's pretty good, right? When we look at that, that seems all right to me. I just realized it's going to be very dangerous. If I run out of fuel for my jetpack, then I'm kind of screwed, aren't I? Anyway, now I have to try and raise up the land along the way because for obvious reasons, the train line can't stay at like a different height. I also just realized Distant Horizons wasn't on. That's a lot better. Oh my days. This world looks so different when we have Distant Horizons on. It's insane. But anyway, I think the turn is about here. So that should be fine right there. And then it ends at about here, right? Right here. You can see the little bend in the track there. So it needs to end up right here. This project is going to end up taking a lot longer than I was initially expecting. Can I just place this like this and go like this? Bang. Hold on, I messed that up. Okay, like that. And then over here, like that. Beautiful. Then this can go completely flat. Oh no, I messed this up. Hold on. Where does it bend? It bends right here. Let's try that again. We'll go here, right into the middle. Right there. Connect this up to this one. Oh no, this one, sorry. And then connect this one to that one. Have a look at that. Okay, that looks a lot better now that it's actually at the right height. So now pretty much I just have to go through and try and break the right track. Okay, beautiful. Easy peasy. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. It's so weird having the track just float in there. It doesn't seem right at all. And our drill is completely done. So I guess I'm using the diamond pickaxe instead. Okay, have a look at that. That's fantastic, man. Such a massive expansion on the train line already. And it's really going to help shape the entire thing. Everything will be pretty much built around the train line. I'm pretty sure that's how that works in real life as well. Things and stuff is built around the infrastructure, which in this case would be the train line for us. Looking at the map, you can very clearly see it is a decent curve. I really like how that turned out. But that is only the first track. We still need to do the other one. But before we do that, we need to get some fuel. Now, I do only have 2 large fill-in tanks and 2 large fuel-in tanks. So that's something I should probably work on fixing. Just make sure we start filling up everything, the jetpack and the drill, while we're kind of doing this. Okay, that's the water done. Now we need to go into the nether, which should be incredibly easy to navigate now with this jetpack. Oh my goodness, this is so much better. And I have to just try and fill this in. Oh, we can reach the bottom of the nether now. Look at that. It's so weird seeing the netherrack at the bottom. Can we just take all of this real quick? Oh, hell yeah, man. Look at this. Okay, we can fly with the jetpack. This is low-key super powerful. I feel like that's the way we're gonna have to do this, so I can clear this lava lake or lava ocean. But that's everything filled up. You can dump it in there for now. Let's just quickly head back to the nether portal, and I have to pretty much just mirror exactly what I've done for the second line of track, which fortunately shouldn't be too difficult. All right, that's the first curve lined up pretty nicely. I think that's perfect. If not, then that really sucks, but I can't see it. To me, it looks perfect. All right, now we just got to line this one up, which is very easy to do. I do need to make a middle section because it doesn't read. That should be right here. Bam and bam. Now this one here could be a little bit tricky, so I need to line this up to about here. I think that's right, just like that. Now you press Control to make it like smooth, just in case you didn't know. I had to search that up a while ago when I made the first line of tracks over there. I was trying to figure out why it looks so janky, but we figured it out. Now I need a couple more tracks. Bam. Beautiful. Oh, that looks so sick. And we've done basically nothing. All right, we've literally just laid down the track and fixed up that section in there. This whole thing is going to be completely different once we finish it all. Let's quickly remove this tree. It's definitely just in the way. That's better. Now, looking at the area, I have an idea. Obviously, we've got like this section here, which is fairly high up. I think I'm going to bring this down to create like a tunnel going under it. Kind of exactly like what we did over here. I want to do that again, but over here, because moving between the tracks can be very dangerous. So the best way is to go under. So I certainly think right in the middle there is going to be the best spot to do that. But for now, what I have to do is pretty much lay the underside of the entire track. We can't just have the track floating like that. That's so silly. Just doesn't make any sense and looks dumb. Then I need to make the bridge underneath, and I'm probably going to try and connect up, or at least plan where this road is going to lead. I'm thinking it's going to lead up along this edge here, flow all the way down here so that it can connect to the back area here. Obviously, it's going to somehow have to lead down underneath the track, and there also needs to be a section in here built. I have no idea what I'm going to build there yet, but we'll be able to figure something out. So let's get started on that right now. Kicking things off with the bridge, since we needed to make sure it was possible to cross the track safely. I went with a very simple curved design and dug the road into the terrain. On the inside, I created a curved pathway leading up to the correct land height and tidied the sides up. Next, I made sure to lay the ballast under the track to make sure it wouldn't move when it rained, but mostly because it looked cool. Once that was done, I could work on shaping the land. I made sure to create some nice gradual curves to keep the land looking natural, and of course connected the railway using a very small cliff face since it wasn't too much higher. Now that the land looked good, I could finally lay down the plans for the road. I dug out a decent pathway and filled it in using the same dirt that I used previously. On the side near the railway, I connected both paths together and extended an extra road through the underpass. Alright, the chances are you're probably noticing one of two things. First of all, I didn't expand the underneath of this rail, and there's a good reason for that. I've realized that keeping the rail at this height the entire way is just going to look really weird because the land doesn't really come back up for a very long time. So I will adjust the height of this. I'm going to bring this one down by 1 and then probably this one down by 2. So it's going to be a nice gradual decrease, which will bring it down to the correct level. And 2, the roads have absolutely no detail at all. Don't worry, we're definitely going to be adding those in. I just wanted to get an idea for the layout of the area. Looking at the map, you can see the area is completely different, and honestly, I'm getting so many ideas for where I can put the buildings. Originally, I was going to fill this with farms, but I figured that probably wouldn't make much sense. So there's going to be a few different estates with some buildings over here having like a lot more space. Those ones over there, they're very close together. They don't have any front yards or backyards, but perhaps the ones over here might have backyard because we're going to be getting closer to the more rural areas, so the land sizes are going to be a lot bigger. So that's kind of my idea there. But before we do any of that, let's move on to the next comment. For this one, we're going to have 2 people. So Copperhead, press B to open backpack. So now I can actually open my backpack without having to place it down, because as you can see, the backpack is on my back. I completely forgot that I could chuck it on this. Obviously, I'm not super used to using mod pack, but I have actually had a mod pack in the past recently where I survived 100 days building a cozy farm where I did this exact thing. It is so nice to be able to go in here. He also said that I should explore the mod a little bit more because I am underusing it, and I definitely agree. As you can see, I've been looking at the possible upgrades that we can do, and I've decided on the stone cutter upgrade because I am always using this. I'm always having to place it down, so having it within the backpack is going to be extremely useful. So I'll make the upgrade base, and then I'll make the stone cutter upgrade, which I can chuck into here. And now if I click here, I have a stone cutter, which I can use very easily just like this. So much nicer. Beautiful. I'm curious, does this allow me to do this quicker? No, not really. Oh well. Eventually, I'll be able to figure out how to do that quicker. But we also have Matthew Robinson, who said I should get the auto feeder for the backpack because it would save me from manually eating, which I obviously do all the time. It's kind of annoying, so having food not in my hotbar would be very nice. There's two things I need. I need to get a glycerin melon slice. I'm pretty sure I have an ender pearl somewhere. Let's actually double check that. That might be the one thing I'm waiting on. I don't think I've killed an enderman yet. Okay, there's no ender pearls in there and none in there. So no, I have not killed an enderman yet. However, I do still need to go over to a jungle. There is one over here, so it's a little bit of a journey, but we'll be able to get there. If I do see an enderman on the way, I'm definitely going to be taking him out. Don't know why my distant horizons has messed up again. I got to keep disabling it and starting it to get it fixed up. I guess it's not really the end of the world. I do need leather as well, so let me take out a cow. Sorry, mate. Don't take it personally. This jetpack certainly makes it a lot easier to get around. And oh my days, look at that view. Don't worry, we're going to be going through these mountains very soon. I have a project lined up which is going to be perfect for this area. It's going to be phenomenal and a whole lot of work. Okay, let's see if we can find a melon. Fingers crossed that this jungle has them because it's not a very big one. I don't think we're going to get lucky. I was really hoping we would be able to find melon here, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I see bamboo and cocoa beans, but no melons. This jetpack really makes it feel like you've got like flight, like creative flight. It is so convenient, but I am running low on fuel, so let me quickly grab my fueling tanks. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any melons here at all, which is quite sad. Is there another jungle somewhere? Oh, there's a bamboo jungle down here as well, and one there, but that is a very long flight. Oh my days. I guess we have no choice though. Dude, look at this world. It is so beautiful. You can see our area all the way down there looking absolutely tiny compared to the absolutely monumental scale of this world. But don't worry, it won't stay like that. We're definitely going to be taking over this entire thing. Also, we did just pass day 302, so we are now 30% into the 1,000 days. And ladies and gentlemen, I have been working in the background on the 1,000 day video. It's going to be incredible. Even if you've watched everything, it's going to be a good watch. Don't you worry. You're going to see the entire 1,000 days, and maybe I'm going to be able to get it down to 3 hours. It'll be incredible. Trust me. It'll be like a whole new video. Oh, look at this jungle. We got like pink jungle right there. I didn't realize there was a jungle this close. I must have missed it. Was this the one I was looking at? No, I was looking all the way down here. This is a rocky jungle. All right, melons, where are you? I see you. Hello, my friends. Bam, that's enough. Oh, whoa. Friendly? What the heck? It's a bamboo creep. Whoa. Okay. I'm out of here. I don't know why they're not attacking me, but I'm not going to sit around and ask them. Bamboo creeper, they blend in way too well. I got jump scared then. From this side, our area doesn't look very good, does it? I really need to work on this side of the island. It's just a straight line. It's basically just vanilla. That is no good. All right. We do need to go and kill an enderman, so let's quickly jump into the nether. Actually, let me get a boat. I saw this guy use a boat to kill enderman the other day, and I thought it was genius. Don't know why I never thought of that before. Now I just got to find them. I'm pretty sure it's the blue area, right? Like that one over there. All right. Enderman, enderman, enderman. Where are you? Is that an enderman? I think that's an enderman. It's a warped enderman. Get in my boat. Oh, there's another one. Why are they all congregating right there? I don't like that. Okay, please get in the boat. Just get in the boat, man. Okay, the other idea, wait, they don't look 3 blocks tall. They look 2 blocks tall. This could be dangerous, man. Okay, they have to go in there now. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't even have to kill him. These are custom endermen, and I have literally no armor, so I don't want to take any chances. Oh, no. Now I have to take chances. All right. Oh, we're good. I can just hit him like that. I didn't get what I needed. There we go. Okay, I got a warped pearl. So let's head back. The question is, do I have the gold? I don't think I do I? Oh, no, I do. Beautiful. I need an apple. I need a carrot. Make a golden carrot. Golden apple. I need one of these upgrades again. Oh, wait, I also need a glistening melon. Beautiful. Now, it was something like that. Like that. Nope. There we go. Feeding upgrade. So I can put that into there and boom, I now automatically eat. So thank you guys so much for the tips. I love it. All right, now let's work on this. Let's go ahead and lower these tracks by 1. This should be fairly simple to do. Just break that and it'll pop. Drop this by 1. Collect the rails again, of course. And then just link this one over to this one. Now, I'll quickly show you what I meant by the control before. So you can't really see it, but if I press control, you'll see it changes. See that green line between that's no control and that's control. It makes it so much smoother. So that's how you get your track smoother if you ever need that. I'm sure you probably knew that, but if you didn't, now you do. You're welcome. Now, what I'm hoping with this like gradual decrease in elevation, I hope you're not going to even notice. That's the plan. Okay, you can really see it now. Look at that. Look at the difference that control makes. That is insane. Holy camoli. Yeah, look, from up here, you can't even really notice it. Let's see how high you have to be to notice. Okay, you notice it then, like at this height, but it is very, very gradual. So I think it's okay. For now, let me quickly just drop all these tracks. because this is going to go down to this level. So exact same thing, you can see like it's a bit janky in the middle. If you press control, you can see at the very top of the screen there, it makes it a lot more flat too. So even like in a straight line, this is very beneficial. There we go. Now we have the track elevation done. It looks like it's fairly consistent. I like that. That looks good. Obviously, making the road underneath look good is going to be a whole nother story. I'm not excited to do that part, but we'll get it done. No problems with that. Now I do have a bunch of coarse dirt and a bunch of oak leaves that I need to use to make this area look a little bit nicer. First and foremost, I want to add some oak leaves to the outside here, just along the area where it transitions from the side of the mountain or the cliff face to the rocky little outpost that I put, or rocky little fence that I've added in. I will also be bone milling this entire thing too to make it look a little bit more natural, I guess. Need to add in my leaves along here, and let's not forget some leaves along here as well. Okay, minor details are definitely going to come together to make this thing look a lot better. Next thing I can do is add in my coarse dirt just along the edge. I think this is a very nice feature. You can see the difference between the road with it versus without it. It just makes such a big difference. Also, our auto feeder just worked for the first time. That was really cool. Like I literally just ate food and I didn't even have to do anything. All right, and that is it with the coarse dirt in. I think it definitely makes a big difference. Looking very nice. Now for this bit, I'm going to need a ton of zinc. As you can see right here where I've done something similar, I have to use these copycat layers to make the gradual increase look normal, because otherwise the track is just floating, which ends up taking an absolute metric ton of zinc, which as far as I'm aware doesn't have a way to make it automatically. The only way to get this is through mining, which I could make a automatic mining machine for, but right now that's not really a good option because I need the zinc right now, and figuring out how to do that is probably not the best thing to try and add into the things that I need done. Actually, I wonder if I can come over to this mountain. I'm curious if there's going to be a lot on the outside. Let's have a look. It only takes us a second to come over here because of our jetpack, so I might as well have a look. Okay, I see a bunch of ores, but no zinc. Very sad. What about this side? Oh, there's a bunch of emeralds, but mostly iron and whatever that is. Osmium. Okay, that is definitely not zinc. But don't worry, because the next project we're going to be working on is going to be another farm or machine. You guys are going to have to wait to see, but I just really wanted to spend a little bit of time working on the area after working on the automatic farms for quite some time. And honestly, since this is the second episode in a row where we've done like massive terraforming, oh sorry, the third episode now. We did the river, then we did this section. Now we're doing this massive section here. I think after this, it's only fair that we expand our farms a little bit more. Try and keep their projects together a little bit more similar. So that'll be very exciting. But I guess technically this area over here isn't part of what we're going to be working on, so it's not super urgent. I think we can make the mining machine as a goal to be able to complete this to get a bunch of zinc, because I need zinc pretty much all the time. I'm always waiting for it, so I think it's going to be important to get some kind of mine going for that. But I think this area is ready for me to throw down a bunch of blocks and figure out a good design for the area. I want to try and keep using different types of blocks. I don't want to use the same blocks I've used over here. So let's have a look at what we've got for options. I wonder what kinds of blocks netherrack can give. Let's have a look in the chisel. Okay, very, very red. What about in the stone cutter? Okay, there's quite a lot of options there. I think I'll try and use netherrack somewhere. I don't think we've used a brick, so I think I'll use some bricks. I think I only need like 3 stacks of each, right? Dripstone. I wonder if there's some dripstone block. Ooh, there is. We're definitely using dripstone, that's for sure. So let's quickly go down into the mine because I know exactly where I can find some. I'm pretty sure there is a dripstone cave right through here. Yes, there is. I knew it. Oh my goodness, what is this? I had no idea this was here. What is this? What the hell? Oh, okay, dripstone creeper. No, thank you. All right, let's grab some of this dripstone. I don't need much. I'll get like a couple stacks. There we go. I think we got 3 stacks now. That should be more than enough. Let's head over to the volcano because there's a bunch of custom blocks there as well, which I think could definitely be used, and just expand our options a little bit. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, so we have black sand and black sandstone, and it goes in the stone cutter too. Beautiful. What about the chisel? No, it doesn't. Okay, not a massive amount of options, but I mean, it's still an option. Okay, that should be good. I don't think we need any more. There's also basalt, smooth basalt and regular basalt. So I'm going to grab some of this. This is a beautiful block that we can use. So we'll just grab a couple of stacks of this. I mean, we're getting a bunch of different blocks already. I'm sure this is going to be more than enough. I don't really think there'll be any other blocks that I can come across. What is this? Okay, that's just black sandstone. Oh, but it's easier to get. I might as well grab some of this because there's no sand. Oh my days, look at that. Super easy to grab. Hell yeah, man. I feel pretty confident that I'm going to be able to use pretty much everything that I've got to make some very unique houses. And since we only have 4 houses there right now, once we're done, once I set up all these plans and preparations, we're going to be looking at a completely different area. Not only is our population going to more than double, might even triple or quadruple. So let's get started on planning those builds. Right, and we have a decent template of this area now. It's looking a little okay. I don't know, man. This section over here has really been bugging me, to be completely honest. I don't really know how to change this or how to make it better. I think maybe I could like move the placement of this house, but that would involve me destroying the whole thing. But I don't know if I really have a choice. I feel like I'm gonna kind of have to, because if we head over here, this is kind of where I've been observing the area and how it's all gonna look. Now, standing here, when we zoom in, there's just that really weird spot there that's completely open, which is a little bit more obvious once we get the distant horizons fixed. Now, obviously, I really had no idea how to change this, but now that I've kind of been looking at this, like literally just now, I feel like maybe this needs to move over a little bit, as in like the entire thing to like here. I feel like that kind of makes sense, right? Or just changing the orientation so it's like sitting in here a little more. I really have no idea. It might be a little bit close to that house. I really don't know how I messed this up so bad, but I mean, I guess that's the downfall of building everything freehand instead of in a creative world. But we do have trees there, so maybe it's gonna look okay once we get that in, because I was planning to try and make like this house have a nice like front yard, and same with this one. I wanted it to be a little bit more roomy, like they weren't on top of each other like the rest of these houses are, to try and make it seem like that house and that house are a little bit more well off. That's my idea. But all the houses look really weird right now because there's no details, which is a serious problem. So probably going to just be adding the exact same details that I've added into these houses, just into those ones. And I do remember literally just adding in the doors and the windows made such a massive difference previously, so I want to quickly do that. Let's see how this looks once we just add in a couple of these windows and doors. It's literally the bare minimum to be done, but I feel like it just makes such a big difference. So I'm really hoping that once I do quickly add these in, the place is going to look a little less weird, because to be completely honest, I am not super happy with how it's kind of coming together. If anything, I'm pretty nervous. Let me just make sure that I light these up as I open them, because I don't really want to be dealing with the scary monsters that are going to poke out from having it completely dark. But let's just have a look at that, just with those doors and windows, and see how much of a difference that makes. I mean, okay, that is a massive difference compared to what it was before. Just having those holes in there, which is literally all it is, just a couple holes, makes a huge, massive difference. Of course, we still have a ton of details to add in, which will bring the rest of it to life, but I'm feeling a little less worried now, because that is definitely looking so much better. Oops, see, there's zombies in here. Not the best. Get out of here, mate. Man, I really don't know what to do here to fix this. This is wicked. I mean, I guess I could put a window in here maybe, and then expand that like that. I have no idea. I feel like that's the only thing I can really do there, right? Such a weird building shape. I don't know how I came up with that. I guess I wasn't really thinking about what I'd have to do after. Wait a second. What's going on here? Oh no, this one's like really messed up. I'd have to remove this one here. Maybe I have to go with like a massive window for that one. I don't know if I love it, but I mean, I don't really have much of a choice now, do I? Just 2 massive windows. I feel like that's the only thing I can really do there to fix that. Okay, we'll figure something out. Don't worry. For now, we'll just leave that like that. 2 massive windows. Oh my days. All right. Another thing to note, this has taken a whole lot more time than I was expecting. We're currently on day 320, which is wild. I was seriously not expecting this project to take this long. These buildings are definitely no joke. Oh, I just heard a creeper. No, 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 no. Oh my days. This is how good the jetpack is. Look at this. Oh my days. This thing is amazing. Oh, I love the jetpack so much. Okay, looking at this area, I mean, just having those holes, like I said, makes such a massive change. Monumental difference. I don't love how small these windows are though. This house already has windows. I just need to do this one now. I was thinking obviously the dirt road going in here. Make a massive door for that. Some basic windows, I guess. We can have a double window, sure. Actually, no. let's not have a double window. How many windows do I do here? I think I do 3, right? Yes, I can do 3. Beautiful. All right. I'm thinking really the only thing left to do is add in all of those fancy details to all of these builds, and then we'll be able to assess the situation. I also need to expand all the special details that I've done to this road here and just expand it all the way down so that it makes a little bit more sense. I feel like that'll help make this section look a lot better. And then once the details for the actual builds are in, then I can go ahead and add all the special details around the build. Right now, I am feeling a little bit stressed because it doesn't look great. I'm gonna leave that build there and hope that these trees make the difference. I mean, I could add like a third one in there, couldn't I? There's enough space. I was going to build a little shed there, but I feel like I need a tree instead. So let's quickly delete this and I'll use the spruce logs that I got to just smack in a giant tree. So we'll go, can we go 17 blocks or is that too tall? Okay, I used all the logs that I got from that little shed that we created just to build that. Might need to go a little bit taller because it's a little bit too close to that one there. Do I have? I do have more spruce logs. Beautiful. Let's go another, then it's the same height as that, isn't it? Let's go another 1 so that it's kind of in the middle of those two, kind of, I guess. I mean, it was already in the middle, but you know, that's fine. That should be perfectly fine because that fills that gap in a little bit nicer. There's quite a few custom trees I need to build. I mean, from here, I can already see about 10, which is wild because we don't even have 10 there. That'll more than double how many custom trees we have. I don't know how this area is going to come together. I feel like it looks okay, but I don't think I love it right now. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how everything kind of flows once all the details are in. Looking at the map, it even looks a little bit strange too. Potentially it could look a little less once I get the roads in and special details. I don't know. I really don't know. All right. Let me throw in the details. Let me throw in the trees and the leaves and those details as well, because I think we'll be looking at a bit of a different picture. And if not, then I need to figure something out to be able to make it look good. I'm really hoping that I haven't ruined this entire area with these builds, because it would really suck if I have. Originally, the plan wasn't even to build buildings there. It was to create farmland, but I just don't think that made much sense. To be completely honest, I don't think this really makes much sense either, but I can expand the farms beyond the backside here. And then of course, over on that side of the river. I think that makes the most amount of sense. But anyway, let me fix these up, see what we can get this looking like, and I'll see you guys when that's done. Now, the difference that having all these details made once again shines with this build. It looks so strange beforehand, but now that everything's in here, it looks so much better, at least in my opinion. Having a look from over here is okay. You can kind of see these few houses at the front, but you can't see anything at the back. However, we can see that the trees have definitely filled in that skyline there, a little weird spot that was feeling a little bit strange. But having a look from up here, man, this looks phenomenal. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. If we head over here and just walk through this area, starting at the very start, past all these buildings, I feel like it looks so much better than from a distance. It just feels so realistic, and as if, you know, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. You can see I've added in these lanterns too, just these street lights. I think they look really nice. Very simple, but they're beautiful. I added another oak tree to match the one on the other side. I feel like that made sense. And man, it's really cool seeing this slowly morph into what it's becoming. Like, this place is really, really changing. But don't worry, we're still not done. I do need to fix up this area, but I just kind of want to give you a quick tour through this entire thing, because in my opinion, just walking through is the best way to see how awesome this looks. As you can see, we've got this little underpass here between these buildings. I wanted to connect them together somehow, so I just created that little thing, and it gives you access to the back here, which is kind of like a private section. We have this house and this house, which are disconnected. They're standalone buildings. They even have their own front yards, which you can see I've used these tough brick to create that kind of thing. The details in the front yard aren't the best. I didn't really know what to do, but I think it's really unique with especially this house. It just feels a lot more kind of expensive compared to the other houses. So I wanted to make sure I had some of those starting to pop in here, especially as we head sort of further away. The density should slowly decrease, I guess. Now this path here, I guess this is going to be like some kind of service road up to the train line. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do there, but it's there. So if we ever do need to create that, we can. You can see some of the leaves do cross over the top of this track, for example, this one, but it kind of makes sense. That happens in real life. The trains just kind of brush past them. So I didn't think it was a massive issue, but dude, I think this place looks phenomenal and I'm excited to keep expanding the town, just seeing how it develops over time. This is definitely the best town that I've created so far. I mean, it's still very small. I haven't really done much, so there's still tons that I can do, but I do want to jump in my train. I haven't actually been in this since we've made any of the expansions, and I want to just see what it's like to travel down the train tracks with all the expansions. We can actually reach top speed now. So let's go left, run down the middle here. Oh my days, this is phenomenal. Look at that, and we just go just past the trees. Beautiful, everything works well, and we reach the end of the track just here. I'm pretty sure I can grab my wrench, right, and just relocate it to turn around, because right now there is no way to turn it around, but we will figure that out, especially over there where we have the wheat field section. That's going to be an easy place to turn things around. But let's just bring the train back. We should be able to just wing it right in here, right, just through here. Boom, beautiful. We can get around easily. The train does go pretty far. Okay, the train is inside now. Sure, that's fine. Actually, no, let's turn it around. Let's put it back exactly where it was. Right there. Beautiful. But man, I am so happy with how this looks. It looks phenomenal. I'm not going to put anything here today, like in this section or that section, because I want you guys to tell me what to put there. So write down your comments for exactly what I should build there. We can build that in the next episode. I want to make sure you guys have an option to suggest how we expand this world, but we still do need to work on this section. Now, the very first thing that I want to do here is add in a couple benches, so we can go with these campfires. Well, probably not that way. Oh no, you know what? That makes kind of sense, right? No, it doesn't. Do I have silk touch? I do. Beautiful. Let's get this back and we'll go like that way. We have just some trapdoors behind it and that should look decent. Yeah, that's a park bench, right? Beautiful. We can add another one in right here. Phenomenal. And why not get just one more? You know what? Right here. Now that I'm thinking about it, we should probably also have like a bench or chair against the river. That might be a little close actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my goodness. You have to swim to be able to sit on the bench. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's put it here. Bang, bang, bang. And why not just chuck one more down here, because I have a bunch of these fireplaces. Then we should add a couple paths just in front of the benches. Oh, and we need some street lights, don't we? I have been doing these, so maybe we keep to the fences, to be honest. Oh, hey buddy, you can't even shoot me, mate. What are you gonna do? Easy. 0 damage. I don't even need armor. Just don't take any damage and you never need any armor. But I do need some torches, and I really need to start turning some of my logs into some charcoal, because I have a serious issue with just never having any coal. Okay, I just want a normal lantern. Okay, we got 8. I think I'm still gonna create those fancy ones. I do like them. I really like the way that they look. So to make these, we go bang, 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 and usually I go 3, as you can see up here, but since this isn't really a main road, I think I'm going to keep it at 2. So it's a little lower. I feel like that makes sense. Slap another one right in here. Now, the beautiful thing is you can just smack a lantern on the side. Why has Minecraft not done that yet? Come on, Mojang. They're so much more versatile. And they look so good. All right, and through this path, I think I'll just go lantern on the fence. Yeah, beautiful. I feel like I need to change these now to the fancy ones. They just look so good. Apparently, the mod is amendments. If you do want to add that to your own world, at least when I look at the lantern, it says amendments at the top. By the way, I'm trying to add create aeronautics to my mod pack. However, it really doesn't want to work. So if anyone knows how to fix mod packs and add mods that don't want to really work with it, or that are really kind of just being finicky, please message me on my Discord. Let me know that you know how to fix it and you can help me get the create aeronautics on, because there's so many things that I want to create that I could do with the aeronautics mod, but I would have to restart my world and I really don't want to do that, considering how awesome this place is looking right now. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure I could try and like copy the terrain and like manually transfer everything over, but I feel like that's not the best way to do things. But if you guys know how I can get that fixed, because I really want to add the any aeronautics mod, please let me know. Message me on my Discord channel, link in the description. Anyway, this is what we're looking like now. We've added basically nothing, but it already looks decent. Now, the next thing I want to do, the back kind of wall thing looks a bit weird. How we can fix that is just simply slapping in some bone meal. Since it's all grass and it's not really going to be maintained super well, considering it's a cliff face, we just need to grow some grass on there and it's going to look good. All types of grass, even the extra tall grass. We want to make it look overgrown, and that's going to help make the cliff seem a little bit more kind of realistic and not so funny looking. It's going to blend everything in nicely, but it does use a ton of bone meal, so you're probably best using shears, but whatever. I mean, just look at that. That's so much nicer. Still probably looks a little bit weird because it's kind of the only thing in there, but once we get everything else in it, it'll blend in perfectly. Grab some more bone meal. Actually, let's check this. Oh my day. I really need to get a better system for this ASAP. I do plan to build an underground base like I do in all of my worlds. So once I do that, I think I'm going to try and connect everything together using the trains, because of course the train will end up at the underground base. That's like a non-negotiable thing that has to happen. That would be super awesome too, just having the train enter the underground base. Imagine that. It'd be absolutely sick. But yeah, I do plan to connect everything together. But there we go. We got the grass added into the back. Let me actually turn a bunch of these hay bales into bread because we are running pretty low on bread. I haven't even had to eat, which is great, but that means I haven't really been focusing on how much bread I've got. We only have 17 left, but now we have 113. You know, I might as well turn all of this into bread, right? Why wait? There we go. How much bread do we have now? 512 plus 110. I don't think I'll ever need bread again. Beautiful. All right, now in order for this to make sense, it can't just randomly stop. I need to continue this design, although it's obviously going to be dug into the ground this time, and probably a little bit less until it just kind of stops. That's my idea. So let me grab everything that I need. I'm sure I could probably add a couple layers in there. Some coarse dirt, muddy dirt, gravel, and we'll do some sanded dirt. Let's just quickly fix this section up. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna need to use the layers here, aren't I? Because it's still the same thing. So maybe I can gradually have it decrease in how many there are. Kind of like that, I think. Then just add all the fancy bits in. I haven't got any leaves, so I need to go grab some more oak leaves. Man, look at this forest. It's just slowly disappearing. 51 should be fine, so let's just use this for now. Something like that. Get a bit of bone meal in there, and that should be pretty good. Add some coarse dirt to the edge of the dirt path and do something kind of similar to what we've done there, except this time obviously building it into the ground rather than having it on copycat layers. Something like that. Very basic. Then of course we've got to bone meal up the area a little bit, and let's not forget the flowers. So then you can see that looks so much better. It doesn't just abruptly stop. It looks like it actually continues and it looks normal, which is exactly what we want. Although we still do have this section near the benches where I need to add some trees in and a couple leaves and bit of bone meal, and I think that's going to be looking pretty bloody good. So let's go ahead and quickly get that done, and we'll see how this looks when everything is finished. And there we go. What a gigantic difference. That looks so good. I have the massive oak tree in the middle, which I may have made a little bit too big because it's kind of blocking the houses behind, but I guess it's perfectly okay because, I mean, it looks so nice, especially from the front. Let's just imagine, you know, we're on a nice little walk and we come through this thing. Dude, this thing just feels so peaceful and relaxing. It's so nice. And then this path through here with all the trees around, oh man, it is just perfect. I love it. So what a massive difference we have made in this gigantic area over the last probably how many days? 100 and something days? We're now on day 340. So in 140 days we transformed this entire river, this entire section here, and most recently this massive section here. I think this is definitely a nice addition to the world, and I mean, now we have a bunch of workers that can work in our factories so we can make more. Now, like I said earlier, if you guys have any ideas for what I should put in here, please let me know down below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here all the way to the end, and until next time, peace out.